Jim, that's your cue.
Jim, it's you.
Oh, sorry. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday night in Garblag Games. This is part 2 of our The Enemy Within campaign. I am Jim, your games master, and this is my party of Old World Wanderers. So we'll start with Josh, if you want to explain your character, and then we'll move around Louis, Roger, then Aaron.
Hello, I am playing Turpin Merriweather, halfling physician extraordinaire. I think we can all agree. My main goal is to get to Altdorf to get some formal medical training. As to, up to this point, I was actually a cook, and this was thrust upon me. So yeah, just having a great time as a character, I think, is my main goal right now.
Hello, I'm Lewis, and I'm playing Paulus Hector von Breuspire. I can't even remember my own name; it's so long. Who is a horseman who may or may not have left Imperial service in some slight disgrace, and is now doing his utter best to get in good with an important group, which these lot seem to be. And also, I'm kind of hoping to come into some money now.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Roger, and I'm playing Alric Granite Hand, the dwarf tunnel fighter, who is unfortunately oathbound to travel the Empire for a good long period of time with an elf, sorting out the humans and cleaning up their chaotic mess by murdering everything chaotic I can find and burning things. So when Ben gets here, time to burn his stuff.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Razor of House Malforic. He's an Aeonir fencer, or as the Reichlanders call him, a wood elf. He's stands about 6'4". He's got dark auburn hair streaked with gold and gold-colored eyes, but he's fairly young for an elf, which shows in his eagerness and open attitude. He was born into the Torior class within the city of Tor Lithanel. And he is the nephew on his father's side of Lady Delina of House Malforic. He is the elf to the dwarf's blunt, heavy-handed approach to deciphering the taint of chaos within humanity and helping to purge it. He prefers a more surgical strike.
Yeah. Pinpoint heart shot, yeah, I believe.
Pinpoint
to the
heart
groin.
shot. If necessary.
Strike on the taint. Got it.
So if you watched us last week, you'll realise that we're missing a person. That's Ben. He's going to join us in a bit, hopefully. He's just busy doing a bit of driving, and then he'll be back with us. And also, if you were with us last time, you'll know that we're doing something a little bit different. So because we're running this monthly at the moment, I've decided that we're going to have a bit of a run over what happened last time with a little bit of a difference. So each week a player will be chosen, and it's up to them to come up with an in-character explanation of what happened last time. Last time it was Josh who was chosen. So he will be given the intro to tonight's session in character as Turpin. Josh?
So Turpin decided to write a letter home to explain the events of last week, and we'll go right now. I can only do the accent when I remove one headphone, so hopefully you can hear me okay. Dear Mum and Mum's life partner Gavin, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing for you from the open road on my way to Altdorf, and I thought you might like to know how I am doing. There is so much to tell. However, Stefan is charging me by the word to write this, so I will of course be brief. I've made great friends. Just like last night, myself and Stefan rescued a dwarf and an elf and an actual knight from a pack of bandits with the worst case of contact dermatitis I have ever seen. To demonstrate their gratitude, they agreed to accompany us through the capital, though I think this is mainly so they can learn from us, on account of our vast knowledge of all things. The elf, Racer, is a haughty type that is fond of something he calls glamping. It is like camping, only you do it in a house. Who knew? The dwarf is an excellent climber, or so Stefan keeps saying. The knight I like, though he does seem to suffer a little from incontinence, but I am eager to try and treat it. I must remember to get a cork next time you visit a tavern. Speaking of taverns, we stayed last night in a very lavish establishment. They are even building a function room. And we didn't get into any trouble at all. We did, however, do battle with a greater demon that was about 9 foot tall, full of teeth and tentacles. And I, of course, landed the killing blow. And the elf was so impressed, he started composing me a song about my great deeds. Later, I had to act as a lawyer for a young man what conjured a demon, and he was so moved by my defense of his innocence that his final wish was that I take his physician's tools and books to continue helping others. Anyway, the elf stabbed him and the dwarf chucked him into a hedge. Case closed! This morning, we set out by coach for Altdorf, and were immediately beset by bandits again. Honestly, I think they're secretly coming for us to medical advice, but they don't want to pay for the consultation. I let the others deal with the peons, and I cunningly took out the leader, single-handedly, of course. He did nearly put a crossbow bolt through my head, which was slightly worrying, but I suppose my cat-like reflexes and imposing posture were too much for him to bear down. Anyway, we rescued the people they were menacing, but unfortunately, upon closer inspection, these people were in fact dead. The good news is that I was able to patch Stefan up following the fight, and he was right grateful for my gentle hands and unhaunted fingernails. I think he'll heal up fine. Well, as soon as he pulls the bandage out. Anyway, there's more to tell, but unfortunately, Mum and his life partner, Gavin, I will have to leave here, as the lads seem to be having some sort of argument about one of the poor dead bastards we found. No doubt they'll need myself and Stefan to weigh in and arbitrate the situation. Send my love to Rowley and Duke, and do let me know how the murder investigation is going for poor old Gertrude. She was an excellent teacher, and she will be missed. I also attach a recipe for toe and tongue pie that is simultaneously rubbery and a little too crumbly. Love you.
Excellent. I think you'll all agree that Josh has set quite a high benchmark.
Yeah.
To, Lewis, Roger,
Oh God!
Aaron. Yeah, that's what you've got to live up to.
Not a chance.
So, if you remember last time, we left you at the side of the road where you just dealt with some mutants. Paulus had just found someone who looks identical to him, or rather Racer did, called Paulus over, showed him, and he had some correspondence on him, I believe, Paulus. And it basically said that the bearer of this letter it gets an old baronet's estate and 20,000 gold coins, I think it was. So things are looking up for Paulus. So okay, so Turpin, he's bent over Stefan, and you've sort of crammed your bandage in. Probably could have done, like we said last time, a little bit better. A little bit more professional, sure. But you probably dug too deep with the bandage as you bunged up his hole, or one of his holes. And he seems to have passed out, even though that you seem to have done a good job. There was a lot of pain involved in that good job doing. But he seems to have passed out on the floor.
I'll point to him and indicate that he's passed out. The guys go, he's got a classic case of too much blood. So I'll put some leeches on later, but we'll let him sleep.
Hi, Turpin. I'll defer to your understanding of human medicine. But if I go to sleep, please keep the leeches away from me.
Right. Well, unless you have too much blood, in which case I'll be forced to act the hypocritical oath. I've got to do the hypocritical oath.
Let me be clear. Keep the leeches away.
Paulus, what are you looking at over there? Are you in need of healing?
Well, I don't think this poor bugger is, so I should be fine though. I think. Maybe.
Could everybody make me a perception check, please?
Just challenging.
Yeah.
-2.
+3 success levels.
I was impressively bad at that. Too
Okay,
busy
so
admiring the handsome devil on the floor.
so Racer, you spot something. Turpin, you're too busy still sticking your fingers in Stefan's wounds. Paulus is looking through you're still looking through your papers, or sort of, stealthily looking through them or whatever. And Roger, you can't see over the grass where you are. Yeah. No, not really. Anyway, Racer, you see coming down the road is a number of horsemen heading in your direction from the way that you've came.
Where, my friends, we have horsemen approaching, and I do not know what their intent.
Oh, this doesn't look good.
I should probably head back to the carriage. Want to make sure that they're not bandits or the like.
So now you've seen them, as Racers put them out, they're coming down the road, and they'd probably be in between you and the carriage. They're coming from the way of the carriage.
Right. Well, presumably there's a noble lady in the carriage, so we don't need to worry too much about someone vouching for the fact that we didn't do this. But even so, I think I'll probably sheathe my little dagger.
Okay, as to get closer, you can tell there's 5 of them, and there's one. They all look human. A couple of them look like they're carrying blunderbusses, and most of them are carrying hand weapons. And they seem to be wearing the uniform of road wardens. The one at the front has slightly better clothing than the rest, and he's got a more impressive hat. And they all gallop up towards you, and then suddenly stop in the horse equivalent of a handbrake turn. And they lower, the ones who are carrying blunderbusses, lower the guns towards you. And the chap at the front, he puts his hand on his hand weapon, but doesn't draw it from its scabbard. And says, "Right, what have we got going on here?"
Well, my good sir, if you are road wardens, then we were doing a bit of your work for you. We were traveling in the carriage that you just passed and ran across a pack of mutants that apparently had attacked this carriage. We were able to put them to the sword, but not before they had done their deviltry to the poor fools in that carriage, who were traveling apparently without any sort of guards to protect them.
"Here, Magnus," says one of them. "We're not going to believe him, are we? He's one of them elves."
I'm not an elf, and I would definitely believe him because that's pretty much what happened. Obviously, I did most of the sword putting to in this case. It couldn't have surely been an elf, so don't worry about it too much. I'm also gonna kind of go and try and stand in front of the corpse with my face.
Well, it's a sensible attitude to not trust an elf. Never trust an elf. But in this instance, he is telling the truth.
Definitely.
And as we all know, dwarfs are too dim-witted to lie. So there you have it, my friends.
Like a casual insult.
So I'm glad we got all of that sorted out.
Go and dispossess some of the weapons and search them. One of them gets down off his horse and he wanders over to you. "Yeah, do you want to all line up?"
Right. No problem, sir.
Before you do anything like that, you might want to actually go and have a look at the bloody mutants. This wasn't us.
"Well, no, because they're not moving. And you are. So do you want to put all your weapons on the floor and I'm going to frisk you?"
I mean, we just got rid of a bunch of mutants for you. To be honest, I'm fairly happy to let you
Hold on a
ride off
second.
to the next place and say, "Hey,
I'm not asking. I'm telling you.
we killed all the mutants."
Absolutely, sir. Here, have my dagger. I'll hand it to Pommel first.
Racer takes his rapier.
You just put it on the
belt
floor.
off.
I don't want it. I'm not stealing it from you. Just put them on the floor in front of you.
All right. I thought it was getting shut down again. It's happened 4 times in the last 7 days. I just put it on the ground.
Racer puts his rapier on the ground in front of him.
Thank you.
I'm in humans' lands. I will follow your laws.
Okay. He looks at the dwarf.
Grumbling in Caslin about stupid humans, he puts his shield and axe on the floor.
Yeah, that's good. Looks over at Paulus.
Well, I don't know what Elric said, but I probably agree with it, and I'll undo my sword belt.
Okay, yeah. William, he comes around behind you and he sort of gives you a good frisking down. He, especially Elric, as he's frisking you down, you know, he does seem to dig his fingers in a little bit into your ribs, or as you know, in the old way your armor was, and you know, I was
going to say I'd have a tough time doing that with my breastplate on.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, where the straps are, and you know, like if you've got chainmail underneath the arm, and, you know, he sort of digs his fingers in. And again, the same with Racer. When he moves out to you, you get a little bit of a rough frisking.
Racer's just thinking to himself, as he expected, humans have no manners and even less than dwarves often. So,
can I try, like, while he's frisking me, to kind of just make small talk?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe gossip a little bit. You know, see what. So, cold hands. What stories of the road have you got? Is this like a normal occurrence? You see much of this?
No, not really.
That man had a head of a dog.
Yeah, we're also investigating a murder as well.
A murder, you say? Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Oh, well, I imagine you do a lot of that in your line of work.
And he sort of stands back from you all and he sort of nods over towards the guy with the magnificent hat.
Really
Magnus.
like that hat.
So Magnus gets down and he wanders over to quite close to you. The blunderbusses from another 2 on the horses are still aimed in your direction. Right. If you don't mind me asking, where did you stay last night?
Let's see. Where did we stay last night?
It was a month ago. I don't remember.
Tavern just up the way.
Wherever they gave us that food and drink, and
there's only one
left
coach
on the
house.
carriage. Yeah.
So you stayed at the coach horses just down there, yeah?
Yeah. Gustav, the innkeeper, saw us on our way earlier today.
They're building a function room.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Tell me, did any of you see a young lad, a young physician's apprentice?
Oh, that might be me, sir. I am a physician's apprentice.
He is.
No, a human lad.
If you mean the demonologist, yes, we saw him.
Demonologist, you say?
He was reading a book and summoned a demon that we had to dispatch in the inn.
Okay, where is this demon now?
We dispatched it.
What happens to demons when you give them
So
lots
where's
of
his
stabbing?
Well, it discorporated. It went. That was the noises. Hang on. Oh, no, it was more like a. What do you reckon, Racer? It was kind of like a.
I think, Turpin, you have perfectly captured the sound. I can make no adjustment to that.
So let me get this straight. This up-and-coming physician's apprentice, a well-thought-of lad, yeah, he summons a demon from a book.
Accidentally, but...
Where is
Well, you know, what would you do with a demon book?
Oh, yeah, we burnt it.
Or anything else with the taint of bloody chaos, we burnt it.
All right. So you burnt the book that he summoned the demon with, and the demon, you killed it. Who killed the demon?
I believe Turpin landed the killing blow, but, at least according to what he's telling everyone. And I'm not
I did it.
So, right, let me get that. So, this physical apprentice summoned a demon.
Aye, sir.
In a room full of people.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
They all went running.
This demon went running amok. Yeah. He was killed by.
Sir, might I suggest
the halfling?
Well, it was a joint effort, sir.
Up yonder, in a carriage we've travelled in, is a noble lady, and I reckon her word out here is the law, right? She saw most of it, I reckon, sir. She saw the whole thing, and she had a bodyguard and another girl with her. What saw it too?
I'm asking for your account of things first. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, no, I killed the demon.
Okay, so you killed the demon. It went, in your own words,
this. Yeah, exactly like that, sir.
Yeah, and it's disappeared. And then what happened to this young lad?
Well, he tried to do a runner, but on account of he summoned a demon, I mean, what would you do in that situation?
I'd arrest him.
Oh, well, we tried that.
On. But he
wasn't
having it.
Wasn't having it, sir. And we thought this chap.
What did you deal with?
Oh, he was trying to summon another demon on account of, foolproof the first time. How many demons does he got in him? I don't know. Could have had 25 demons up his nose.
Yeah. His eyes went all, and his fingers went all.
And he was doing a bit of this, and there was a slight biff noise coming along. And our dwarf here said, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. One demon
I've heard
is
some
enough.
tall stories in my time, but this is getting quite high.
Well, I am quite short, so it's even higher for me, sir. I wouldn't believe it. But in one day, in 24 hours, I have twice been assaulted by bandits and had to deal with a demon. So you can imagine how I'm feeling, a little tender, sir. I wouldn't lie to you, I promise.
My good sir, the innkeeper, Gustav, can also corroborate this, as well as the noblewoman in the carriage.
So you thought it was right and proper to what did you do? Did you knock this boy out? Did you tie him up? Did you?
He's dead.
He was a bit busy going.
We tried tying it up. Didn't seem to do the trick.
Demons.
So you did what?
Well, we was trying to do a fair, let him have his say. But then he tried to summon a demon, didn't he? Which I
you were trying to do a fair what?
Fair like trial. Say, hey, young lad, what
do you
happened
want to know? Do you want to know my least favourite word? Yeah. Would you like to know that?
Is it Turpin?
No. Anybody got to get
Halfling?
Elf.
I mean, I feel like it's probably
demon.
Paperwork.
Very good, dwarf, but not quite. No. My least favourite word begins with a V.
Oh, sir.
Vigilantes.
Oh, right.
Now,
I haven't seen any around here.
what
don't
would
worry.
you normally do if someone breaks the law? Would you dish out justice? Would you put him down? Or would you arrest the boy? Yeah, and then leave him for the road wardens? I don't know. There might be a road warden travelling up and down this road now and again. Maybe there might be 5 of them. Yeah. Or would you deal out justice yourself, stab the lad to death, and set fire to him? Or
sir,
now
a question: how was we supposed to stop him summoning more demons?
Tie him up.
We tried that.
We tried. We couldn't tie his mouth. He just kept going with his fingers.
Yeah. His fingers were tied down the side, but they were still wiggling. Didn't like it. Now, I think you're looking at this the wrong way around, though. See, we're just travelling onwards. So what you have here is 2 fantastic cases that perhaps a very brave band of road wardens may have solved.
Well, Gustav said there was one particularly brave soul, but we've not managed to find him yet. And apparently he's a knight of the old world.
Well, yeah, he's
That would be our associate here, Paulus.
I don't like to put on
Right.
airs.
So you're a knight.
Well, this piece of paper here technically says I'm a baron or baronet.
Can I see it?
Sure. I'll hand him the note or hold it up in front of him.
He takes it from you and starts reading it. Oh. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Now, I'm a fair man. He folds this piece of paper up and gives it back to you. You know, I understand that, you know, you've got a lot on your shoulders, my soon-to-be lord. And, you know, it must be a terrible burden to travel with these folk. But I'll tell you what I'll do. Yeah. Even though you've admitted to what can only be described as murder. Yeah. And there's a lot of lies being told. I'm yet to work out a charge for that. I'm prepared to let it, there you go. But you, Mr. Is it? What's your name?
Me?
No,
Turpin.
no, you.
Turpin?
No, you, Mr. Knight, Mr. Noble.
Yeah, you can
Turpin.
you can call me Mr. Noble. I'm fine with that. No problem.
Or is it,
He's traveling incognito, sir.
Yeah.
That's why he's got
Castrella.
such a band of
Do you
lowly
mind
peons
Do you mind
like
me
us.
calling you Castor?
Castor Aloysius Lieberman.
Well,
Do you mind me calling you Castor?
Mr.
Obvious-
Lieberman is would be fine.
Obviously, you owe me a favour, which I'm gladly take from you. I'm prepared to travel to visit you later, shall we say? Yeah.
Yeah.
And me and the lads here, we don't expect much, but we've got lots of children, and
I've always appreciated the work that road wardens do.
well, I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, so what we can do to start with, if you folk, and he points to the dwarf, the elf, and the halfling, if you want to get all the bodies and then pile them near the that coach over there, and then we'll leave them nice and neat, and we'll get a priest of more to come down here, and we'll have him deal with them. So,
sir,
back up over there.
what about the bloke with a dog for a face? I don't really fancy touching him.
Say again.
The bloke what has a dog for a face over there. Should we pile him up or just leave him where he is?
Yeah, just I've heard what you halfling folk are like. You're hardened.
Oh yeah. Right. Can I have a pair of gauntlets, please, sir?
What?
Your gauntlets. On account of you ain't using them, can I don't really want to touch him. I got a big fear of contact dermatitis.
You'll be getting one of my gauntlets in a minute. Right.
Oh, clever wordplay, sir. Can I have one of the other guys' gauntlets?
No. Well,
Right.
you can have one of theirs right in your chops.
That's fair enough, sir.
I mean,
Either
it
way,
seems fair
if you get
that
the bodies tied away. Yeah, I'll get one of my horses off, and then we'll get your carriage or who you're travelling with. Did you say the lady? What's her name?
Knocked. I think. Was it knocked?
No.
No.
my scribe is currently unconscious. Didn't like the fight. Bit.
So he's not one of the
Nervous.
mutants then.
No.
No, he's just
Okay.
very sleepy.
Well, we could pile him with the other bodies if you want, if he's dead.
No, I think he's good.
I'm sure at some point, it come round, tell you names of people and stuff. He writes it all down for me. I don't have time to remember all that. It's a busy life.
Indeed, it is. my good friend, and he smacks you on the back, and he puts his arm around you and gives you a bit of a hug.
Right, gentlemen, should we get to work?
Well, maybe start with that one behind us. Ooh, right mess.
Right, yeah.
As you wish, my lord.
I'll do the worst bow I've ever done in my life. Flicking in my little hat.
So Magnus, he reaches inside his jacket and he pulls out a shiny silver shilling. He goes, yeah, I reckon the other two will move more bodies than the elf because he's obviously weaker than the other two.
Well, I wouldn't bet against him.
Where's your silver shilling then? I call that a bet.
Yeah!
Sure.
You're a lord. You got a silver shilling.
Yeah, I'm just looking if I actually have a silver shilling on me. I do. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
You've been on the road a while, by the way, because you're looking a bit tatty, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, I've been traveling incognito. As you may have seen from the letter, it's a bit. People would get wind. There might be a bit of a throng, and people be following me around, expecting things, and
Yeah, you lot. Are you going to hurry up with these bodies or what?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Racer is already pulling him over. He just wants to get this over with.
Jim, any chance I could frisk the bodies as I'm doing this for odds and ends, and perhaps some sort of ballistic weapon?
Okay.
Oh, one of them had a crossbow, right?
Yeah, there is a crossbow definitely there. Make me a perception roll.
Great. Okay.
A challenging one, of course.
Marginal success.
All right.
Okay. You find a bag with 230 pennies in. A little.
I had 9 at the last session. That's the best. 230 pennies. Thank you so much.
It's a lot of pennies.
That's the most. Amazing. Thank you so much. Hey, Racer, have you noticed that guy looks the spitting image of Paulus? Maybe it's just the way his face was hit, but look at him.
No, Turpin without a doubt. I thought he was his deceased twin brother, but
maybe we roll him on his belly on account of this guy. You don't like this funny business.
It did seem that Paulus would have preferred not to have this one's face shown. So let us do that then. So we roll him over and drag him by his face across the ground.
As you drag him past, Paulus will go, it's a shame about that one. Face got all completely mucked up. It's nothing left of it. Horrific sight. You don't want to.
Anyway, if you need anything, my good baronet, remember the name Magnus Flaster,
I definitely
Sergeant of the Road Wardens,
Quick note in the book.
Yeah. Do you? I'll sort of look at Stefan on the floor.
That's going in my book.
Book of Grudges.
Yeah, but do you have an outpost or something where perhaps?
Well, we call
a token of appreciation could be sent, or
yeah, it's quite interesting. That's great, but yeah, we've got an outpost, but we don't really use that because we're such hard-working lads. Yeah, we're always on the go. Yeah. We're so busy. It's such a dangerous job being a road warden. But yeah, me and the boys are probably the best in this part, of the old world. We're old world famous.
Sorry, Jim. What was the guard's name?
Magnus.
That's a grudging.
Sorry, with Magnus. What? Sorry,
Flaster with a P.
Flaster.
I mean, come on, Alric. The old world famous.
Caster, do you want the crossbow?
What?
Caster, no, not Magnus. Caster, do you want the crossbow?
Oh yeah, we should definitely retrieve that owl crossbow. Yeah.
On account, we don't want some like child picking it up and puncturing their skull.
Tell you what we'll do, Halfling. We'll take that if you want.
That's fine, yeah.
Oh no, it was with us, the crossbow.
Oh, well, I was. I thought it was one of the bandits.
Yeah, well, most of this was actually with us. We scattered it.
Is that most
Some
of
of
it? Is that a dog's face?
Oh, it's wild. Come have a look. Come have a look.
No. We're happy over here.
Oh, right. Well, this guy, believe it or not, has the rest of the dog.
Okay.
I made you look, didn't I?
Racer whispers over to Ulrich. He's like, I hate dwarves, but every single human we run across is a thief and a liar. Their whole empire is on the verge of burning down. Thank God we're here to stop it.
We'll do with reprobates like this around.
I tell you what, I've seen laziness in my time, but you pair, yeah, you hold the biscuit for it. Yeah, come on. We ain't got all day. We've got to get a move on. We'll give you an escort to the next throw-in.
Yeah, I'm happy just to work away and pull corpses into a pile.
Racer does it. He complies with the law, even though he
Yeah.
thinks it's.
So he gets this silver shilling and he puts it in your hand, Lewis, and he says, well, I'll take it back. Old Pointy over there, yeah, he's quite it's either that or the dwarfs are lazy, Yeah.
He's wiry. That's what it is. Yeah.
Fair play to him. Yeah. I still wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw the dwarf, but
Surprisingly light,
Right.
the dwarf.
Pardon?
Yeah, you get good range on him.
What, good range on the dwarf?
Yeah. I mean, it's common tactic. You hurl a dwarf, they axe things. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
His bones are hollow like a seagull's.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's got hollow bones.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, get back. We'll get you back to the coach, and we'll get one of our horses tied to it. We found another one, and we've got that hitched already. And then we'll get you on to the next inn. I mean,
Thank you.
We're getting dark soon, so we don't want you out here on your own, especially someone of good standing like yourself.
Oh yes, definitely. And the carriage also contains a noble lady who probably should be indoors. Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you for your assistance in any of this.
Well, like I said, we're going to give you an escort to the next inn. I believe it's called the Seven Spokes, just down the road here. But it's quite a nice place, a little bit bigger than the Coach and Horses. But it's normally a little bit bigger, being a little bit closer to Outdorf and that. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he follows you back to the coach. Yeah. You guys have stacked all the bodies up. Yeah, it's tired you out a little bit. Quite a exerting sort of job. Get back to the coach, climb aboard. I'm not going to make you roll climbing this time. Yeah, you know where the footholds are this time, Ulrich.
Fairly easy with hollow bones, just sort of jump up.
And the two drivers sort of gee up the horses and away you go. And you notice that the road wardens are just keeping up behind you. Is anybody doing anything or want to do it?
I'll turn to Paulus and be like, did Stefan make you that piece of paper?
You know what? I had it on me, but I forgot all about it.
Right. Just seemed like we was in a lot of trouble. And then whatever is written on that got us out of a lot of trouble.
Well, don't tell too many people. As I said, I'm traveling incognito.
Right.
Racer looks over at Paulus side-eyed. He's like,
Paulus will just sort of shrug and go, "Ooh."
humans. It matters
You're gonna
not
get
to
that
me.
look of Alric of really.
Master Dwarf, I think going forward, we might not do the murdering thing on account of it did dig a bit of a hole for us, didn't it?
It wasn't me that killed the bugger, remember? I'll say, glaring at the elf.
Oh, I remembered it incorrectly. Master Elf. Maybe less of the neck stabbing.
Well, both Ulrich, this dwarf butcher, and I are sworn to a sacred task to curtail the spread of chaos and the rise of the ruinous powers in the empire, and that supersedes any of you mud-dwelling human laws.
I do appreciate that, but they had 2 blunderbusses and there were 5 of them, and I don't think you're going to get much longevity on your task if every time we meet road wardens they take pot shots at you.
I do see what you're saying, Turpin.
You know what I mean?
Discretion.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, discriminate.
They're only human craftsmanship that are probably blown up in their hands.
On the other hand,
if that be,
your sacred task should probably go a lot easier with about 20,000 gold coins.
Once again, Racer looks over at Boss. He's like,
that gets Alric's attention.
then Racer's like, humans and dwarves. It's always money with your like.
So the weather is quite nice. It's as nice as you've known it this time of year for a long time. It's getting quite warm, even though it's quite a shitty time of the year. But yeah, the clouds have sort of parted. There's still clouds up there, but the light lasts longer than it normally does in the day. And as the light starts to dip, you sort of come around the corner and you notice the lights of another road in front of you. And as you get closer, there's a sign saying the 7 spokes.
Just before we go in, can I give both Alric and Racer 75 brass pennies on account of they help move the bodies? And that's their share.
Thank you.
As you get
also
close
say first drinks are on me on account.
As you get close to it, you notice there's some benches outside in a sort of fenced off little area, just inside the walls. And there's a number of people in it. Quite you'd estimate about 12 to 15. All sorts of different people, and they seem to be shouting at something. And there's a cow also in there. And every now and again, one of the people will take a run and sort of jump and kick the cow. And there's like a groan after each one. And sometimes the cow that is tied up sort of kicks up a little bit, but not much. But you get the sort of feeling that they're trying to knock the cow over.
Paulus, what in?
I'm
why?
just here for the
Why,
drinks
Paulus?
and a bed.
Is this some manling custom?
Oh, boys, have you never played Topple Cow? You have the oldest civilizations in the world. You never played Topple Cow?
I think we now know why we have the oldest civilizations in the world.
But what is the point in having the oldest civilizations in the world if you don't play Topple Cow?
I think I'll just look at Race. I think they need more than the 2 of us to
Paulus,
sort this bloody
what are
out.
humans called Topple Cow?
I own
Yeah,
a horse.
any of you guys want to go and kick the cow?
I'll have a go, please, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so it's basically 5 pennies to enter. You get 1 solid kick. If you knock the cow over, you win 5 silver shillings.
Sir, what's the policy on throwing?
I was just thinking the same thing.
As in, I was going to get my good friend Alric here to throw me well hard. You know the crowd will love it. You know they'll love it.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine.
Throw it in Alric.
Racer throws Alric, who throws you.
Triple toss. It's never been done by my. I think tonight's the night.
For the first time, you see Racer smile at the idea of
Lads.
throwing a dwarf.
Let me have a hush, because this young lad, what's your name?
Turpin, sir.
Okay, Perkins down here. Yeah, he's going to have a go, and he thinks that his dwarven friend. What's your name, Mr. Dwarf?
Ulrich.
Mr. Ulrich. Yeah, he's going to, I believe, toss the halfling into the cow. He's not going to off. It's into the cow, and yeah, he's going to attempt to kick the cow over by being thrown into it, and there's a big buzz around the crowd. Ooh.
If we did do the triple toss, it would
5 pennies, please. I just hold out my hand. You know you want to pay 5 pennies to toss me, don't you? You've been thinking about it since we met. When are you going to get a chance to toss someone? All the jokes are about tossing you.
Like any of you lot could pick me up. Your scrawny arms.
Oh, I have a feeling I could pick you up, Ulrich, or knock you back on your ass. But
see,
One
this
way or the
is
other,
what we
try.
need. Paulus will just sit there twiddling his moustache in glee.
Okay. So,
do it.
Mr. Ulrich, yeah?
Ulrich.
Can I call you Rick?
No.
He loves that. Call him Rick.
Okay.
I want to get him
Rick,
angry.
Are you gonna attempt to throw young Perkins here into the cow?
Is this right outside the pub?
Yeah, it's inside the pub. It's inside.
Oh, they're inside the pub.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Oh, shall we just
We've-
pause for a second while we
Let me
get
just
the
mess up your
inlay?
screen.
no
yeah.
problem. I'll just. Yeah.
Stefan, you can wake up at the worst moment.
As you can see, we've just got ourselves a Ben joint, which is all good. So that means that Stefan is coming round out of his
Yeah.
coma.
If we can get rid of
Always encouraging when you find
Get
out
rid
you're
of
in a
Pete.
coma with this lot.
well, you were
And,
healed by a halfling, so what do you expect?
And you've just managed to join us, Ben, as we're attempting to have a game of Kick the Cow.
Oh, wow.
Ben. Yeah, Ben. Could you eat out, and then everything should fall roughly in
You know, I'm not going to report him to Zoom, though.
That was pretty good. I like that.
Just kidding.
Are we back in? Are we back
Nice.
in?
Do you think you could?
Oh, back now. There you go. Look at us.
Are we all looking very good? I think so.
Fantastic.
Sorry for the pause there, but as you can see, it's well worth the wait because we've got Ben back in the room. So, hi,
You!
Ben. Ben is playing Stefan, the Wizard's Apprentice. Okay, on with the cow kicking anyway. So, Rick, are you going to chuck this Mr. Perkins into the cow then to see if he can kick it over?
I'll shout, go on, Rick.
I'm just going to ignore them and walk to the bar.
Oh,
This bloke here said that dwarven craftsmanship ain't nothing on Reetland steel.
You know what, Turpin?
I will actually
The dwarf's
start
not-
laughing when he says that.
The dwarf's not strong enough to throw you. I'll give you a good toss.
Yeah! Elf, elf, elf.
okay. So,
So is it like an athletics roll or?
yeah. So if you could, yeah, an athletics roll look good. Sir, what's your name?
Racer.
Razor. Okay. Razor the elf is going to attempt to throw Perkins, the halfling, into the cow.
Actually, it'd be more strength than athletics. Athletics is more your ability to run and jump.
All right, you just turned down the option. You don't.
Yeah, you don't get to say it.
You had the option to throw a dwarf. I have.
Hey, I know why the elf's trying to pick athletics. I know what elf agility's like.
Are there any bets going down?
Yeah, there's a few going round.
Yeah,
There seems to be a
Paulus has
bloke
got the taste for betting on Racer now.
Okay. You want to bet, sir? We'll give you 2 to 1.
2 to 1, sir. I weigh about 8 grams. It has to be at least 4 to 1.
Probably. I mean, that's the odds should be at least as long as the elf.
How do you mean long? Are you talking about?
I
long?
Go on, 6 to 1. Go on.
6 to 1. I'll give you 5s.
Okay then.
That's an amazing deal.
Let's see. How many brass pennies shall I chuck into that?
I'm going to give you 24
Aaron,
of mine.
if
to
you
2
first want to make
shillings.
an athletics roll to sort of game up, I'm going to allow you to use your athletics as a bit of an athletic thing.
It does say general physical activity under athletics too. So.
And I want you then to make a ballistic skill check.
Okay.
Difficult.
Who's making the ballistics? Is that me?
Aaron.
No,
Aaron.
Oh, thank God for that.
All right. So first with the athletics check here, which is by no means a guarantee.
And I am going to be a very ungracious GM at this point because resolve rolls and re-rolls of that caliber will not be used here.
All right. Well, I already failed the athletics check by 2.
Okay, make it at an extra difficulty then, please.
All right. For the ballistics test.
Yep.
I believe
it's 20
in
now.
you, Razor.
Hard. No, guys, I've got. We're looking at it. I've got to get less than a 12.
Oh, Jim, can I assist?
Go. Impressive failure. Impressive failure.
Right.
How many damage points do I take?
Love the idea of can I assist when you're the one being thrown.
I was going to do one of these.
Aerodynamic.
Okay, so Racer, Aaron, would you care to roll me a D4, please?
D4. I will happily roll you a D4.
Okay, so you basically grab hold of him and you pick him up and you think you've got him. And as you sort of get him on the backswing and you're going forward, you realise that you've not got him as strongly as you thought and you can feel him slipping, which makes you take it, put more effort into the actual grip itself. And then as you sort of let him go, you don't let go and you sort of follow it round and throw him into the coach right next to you. Turpin, take 2 wounds, please, as you are first into the cart, into the carriage.
I look back at the human who was taking the bets and I go, that was worth every single brass penny that I had to pay.
I'm just going to stand up bleeding from the head and go,
as I hand over the pennies that we lost, I'll go,
yep,
and that's why we wanted the dwarf to throw him.
So everybody apart from the halfling does notice that there is a little bit of blood coming from his head, but he seems to have hit the part of the door where the lock was on it, and he does seem to have a bit of an imprint of a lock on the middle of his forehead. Yeah.
Oh, Stefan, you're awake.
Well,
you haven't missed much.
Stephanie's awoken by your head hitting the side of the coach. Yeah.
A thrown item with a lock on his head. Some kind of lockheed.
Oh. So the lady and her 2 guests get out and say, we're going to get another coach from here. Yeah, so we'll go with a different company. And that they sort of leave for the inn as well. Ulrich, should I say, you go into the inn It's the same sort of layout as the last one. So you go to the door, go in through the door. There's quite a buzz in there, buzz in there. Again, there's some really crappy music. You realise it's the same dwarf trader come bard, swords and cords that you've seen at the last one. You can also smell the same sort of pies, yeah. The good fellows in there with their pies. Good old
salmonella.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And yeah, as you look around the room, you also notice that there's a rather large pig in there, and a guy with quite an impressive comb over that you recognise as well. But yeah, it looks like they've travelled further up the road as well, and they've stayed here. But there's a lot of other people as well. There's groups of what look like not bandits, but like travellers, adventurers or wanderers, free swords, all sorts in here. You'd estimate there's about 20 or 30 people in there, and it is quite busy.
Are there any tables?
There is a couple of tables that are free. Most people are sort of dancing with their flagons to the dwarf, who is really, really bad. But a lot of them do seem to be quite inebriated.
All right, well, I'll order a beer and some food and go to the table.
Okay. So
I open my book and start writing.
You order yourself some beer and food. It costs you a silver piece, a silver shilling.
Silver?
Hold on a second. Where are we?
That is some expensive beer and food.
So, yeah, you got your ale costs you 3 pennies, and your meal costs you 1 shilling.
Holy shit! Okay.
A good lunch it
we're
is.
Going to be having yeah.
Okay, everybody else comes into the room now. A lot of the people that are outside with the kick in the cow, that they're in now. Is there's quite a loud buzz. You can hardly even hear yourself talk at times. I keep saying buzz. But yeah, there's quite an atmosphere in here. It seems to be quite a good atmosphere.
Has Raj got a table with seats for all of us, or just a table for one? That's so. What has Alric done?
With enough seats, yeah.
Okay. So, Stefan, yeah, you've come round. You appear to be at another inn. You're helped off the coach by a couple of what look like road wardens.
And as we're heading in, I'll fill Stefan in. I'll be like, all right, play it cool, right? We nearly got arrested earlier by these guys. Hello, gents. But anyway, turns out Paulus is incognitious. He's not only a knight, he's also a caster, like some sort of lord, right? And this seems to be some sort of like philanthropy project that he's traveling the road with us. And in a piece of paper, what made these guys real friendly to him, and it made them make bets on the elf. So you haven't missed much really at all. Also, I got thrown at a cow. But
it's on the elf doing what?
Carrying bodies.
How many he could carry, or how many he could make for other people to carry?
I think. I only overheard it, but it definitely involved.
Racer looks over and he goes, "No, my friend, it was a bet that I could move more corpses than the dwarf, which we knew was a guaranteed win for me."
In your dreams, elf.
Longer legs, quicker from place to place.
I was buggered if I was going to put
as well.
Buggered if I was going to put any effort into doing it for those bastards.
And I'm certain that's the reason he lost.
Right, okay, I'm not confused at all. Why do my injuries sting? There's like a weird burning sensation.
That's because the bandages were shoved into your body instead of applied to the outside of them.
There he goes with his elf talk again.
And how do you stop up a wound
is this
otherwise?
turnip medicine?
Yes, and I believe you probably still have leeches on you, but that's again a human.
I'll be needing those back.
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, that's where the burning's coming from. Leech bites. Are they
So-
trained?
The road warden with the impressive hat, he leans over to you and says, "Yeah, my sister's here at the moment. She'll sort you out."
That's great. Once again, I really like that hat.
And he says, "Yeah, I'll show you." And he calls across the tavern. No, I want the wrong place. Anita, yeah, over here. And this rather squat little lady comes over, and she looks really unimpressed. The phrase "bulldog chewing a wasp" definitely comes in here. She's really unimpressed. She looks completely uncomfortable in her surroundings. And she says, "Look, I'm sick of doing your bidding. What do you want now?" She says, "Well, actually, it's this gentleman that needs your help. Yeah, he needs looking at by a good physician." Okay, yeah. Right. I've got a room. If you'd like to come up to my room, then I can give you a good going over.
I'll follow.
Well,
her.
Stefan,
I'd like a drink first, though. I mean, you obviously, well, can we do this towards, the night's end?
Long as I can remain upright for that long. I think
Yeah.
the leeches are giving me some extra boost.
Well, it has been said in many times that the leeches. Well, it depends what sort of leeches. Are they river leeches or lake leeches?
Well, I like to keep it fresh. It's a bit of both.
Well, yeah. Crossing your leeches, yeah, it can lead to devastating effects.
Miss, I think I love you. Can I buy you a drink?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
So, drinks all round then?
Don't worry, madam. I have a way with animals. I'm sure I'll
Um,
be fine.
Can everybody make me a perception roll?
Really good at this so far.
Impressive failure.
I
we
succeeded
get
somehow.
+2.
+3.
Right.
Despite Jack
Paulus,
Sparrow.
Stefan, Racer. You notice on the far side of the bar, there is a chap, and he's wearing rags, and his hair is really matted, and he's got a bit of a manic look on his face, and he seems to be staring in your direction, and he just looks really wild-eyed, and he don't even seem to be blinking. He just seems to be giving you the death stare all the time, and it's quite unnerving, really. I mean, don't look nothing to him. He looks malnourished. And through the rags you can see his skin, and you can see his ribs sticking through his skin.
I'm
He's
going to
quite.
poke Turpin. Did you give that guy diet advice?
I think he treated him for contact dermatitis.
That guy?
Yeah.
No, I ain't been near him tonight. Is he all right?
Can I sort of move to one side and see if he's eyeballing someone else?
He's
I'll wave.
eyeballing your
bit.
table.
Like,
This seems to be a human issue, but
Oh, Paulus, don't encourage
You
him.
don't-
He'll come over and then he'll want
we
to talk
don't know
to us.
that. He
And he
might be
probably
looking at
collects
you.
like ticks or fleas
Leeches.
or
Well,
no, nothing so wholesome, I should fear.
Racer just looks at everybody else at the table and gets up and walks over. Is there something I can do to help you, sir?
That's one way of doing it.
And he just sort of bends his head to one side and don't say anything. He's just like sort of staring.
Hmm.
And he starts to shake a little bit.
All right, I think I've seen enough.
He's going to burst.
Racer walks back to the table and he's like, he's just a mad human like the rest of your race.
Those of you back at the table notice as Racer comes back over. This guy seems to foam at the mouth a little bit.
He drank too much beer.
Your professional opinion,
The
Doctor?
fermentation is coming back up.
Well, I'd have to do a closer inspection, but on my original prognosis is he's drunk, possibly just a mad bastard.
But when you're drunk, the foam goes in.
Well,
Yeah, but if
it
you
depends
drink
how much
too
you
much
drink.
fermented beer, it comes back up.
So
I will demonstrate. I'm just gonna take the sip off the head of an ale and go.
an halfling lady with a what do you call it? Can't remember. With an apron on, comes over to the table. She's carrying a tray underneath her arm. She says, "Gentlemen, could I get you drinks?"
Be nice, aye.
Beer, 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 beer.
A glass of red
Wine.
wine, if you have it, please.
I'll say wine.
I'm with the elf.
Okay, so that's 3 wines.
2 wines, I believe, and
2 wines
whatever.
and 6 beers.
2 wines and 6 beers. Okay, 6 beers. So it's 18 pennies for the beers, and it is. Did you say how many wines? Sorry, 4 wines.
2 wines, please.
2 wines. That will be 10 pennies for the wines, please.
Well, Paulus, I believe first round is on you, right?
I do recall saying that. Unless
Your
you
lordship.
fancy a bet on whether that mad bastard over in the corner will hit Racer by the end of the night.
I love a bet. Racer, can you make that man over there hit you in the head?
I have no doubt that something to that effect could happen.
Oh, the odds
Humans
are
are
gonna.
very unpredictable.
I feel like the odds, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making it too even here.
Could I ask, gentlemen, if you're staying the night, or?
That would be our hope if there are rooms available.
Yeah, we have we have beds available in the common room. All the rooms are taken, unfortunately, but yes, I believe we've got about 6 common room beds left, but they'll be gone soon. So if you require one, then I suggest you let us know as soon as.
And what
How
are you
much
asking
are
for
they?
those beds?
That'll be 10 pennies each.
Yeah, we made 230 on
This
that.
has
so-
changed. How long was I out?
This is a different inn.
I'm aware of that. I remember that there was the inn, and then there was the heroic battle against corruption and evil,
Yeah, that was us. Yeah.
and this is a different inn. But
Right,
have
yeah.
prices gone up since the last inn?
Significantly, it seems. Significantly.
Well,
Is
it
this a
seems that-
much better inn?
No,
To be
Stefan.
fair, it's probably not. It's bigger, but it's probably not better. I mean, you could put it down to the last
Last gas, right?
the last sort of landlord did seem very friendly, and yeah,
Oh, I see. It's a slug and lettuce versus old man pub situation.
yeah, maybe.
Miss, have you got a function room?
No, what, the function room? No.
Oh, right.
Racer,
No,
Racer
it's not
shakes
a
his
better
head.
tavern.
he hands over the 10 brass pennies and goes, I'll take a room. I'll take
Yeah.
a bed. Thank you.
I'll pay up.
Thank you. You all having a
Pay
bet?
as well.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay. She takes the payment. She takes the payment from you. She comes back, and then she
Pardon-
comes really quickly
pardon me,
with your
miss.
drink.
Oh, thank you. Can you tell me about that crazed looking human sitting in the corner currently staring daggers at us?
Oh, that's Mad Rootrick. Yeah, he's he's a few ales short of a
Keg?
yeah.
And does this mad Rudrick someone we should be concerned about, or is he just going to sit there and stare?
He normally just sits there, really, froths at the mouth a little bit. He mostly minds his own business. Now and again, he'll bite someone's face, but it's only now and again.
That sounds
Like a
about right.
Turpin
So.
at that.
Yeah. Has that affected the odds? Does biting count?
Stefan, can you work out the odds for us?
Brought you over a free bottle of wine and an extra jug of ale as well.
Why, thank you. And who did you say this was from? The free drinks?
Oh, from me and my husband.
Oh, you are
Right.
very kind, milady. Thank you.
I think that's the first bit of actual hospitality you've been shown in a long time.
Well, you're staying with us.
Right.
I'm sure you'll buy more drinks off us as the night goes on. So, and that is the last free drinks you'll be getting, by the way.
That's fair.
Now that sounds like another cause for a bet.
Yeah.
Racer,
That was exactly what Paulus was thinking.
Racer pushes the bottle of wine over to Stefan and says, I'll just have the one glass. You are free to have the bottle.
Your good health, Master Elf.
And to yours, hopefully never to fall to corruption, wizard.
That is the plan.
So, those of you who noticed Mad Riptrick, you notice that he stands up and he's slowly moving across the room, but it's as if he isn't moving. So, he'll take one step and he'll stand there for a while and look around the room anywhere where you are. And slowly, one step at a time, he is heading towards your table.
Going to make this.
I
We
might
need to make
peel
it
off one of the
quick.
leeches.
This may be the slowest bar fight I've ever seen happen, but you humans.
Right.
Just remember,
Now,
Racer, don't let him hit you or bite you in the face.
Racer,
So,
it
as
is
he
really
gets
important you
close
don't
to
do a
your-
murder.
Your table, he leans across to another table and pulls a chair and then puts the chair next to your table and sits down and just stares.
Want a beer?
Would you? Yes.
He stares at Racer. He stares at Turpin. He stares at Ulrich. And
Wales
he
before
keeps
him.
staring. And the more he's staring, he's literally dribbling from his mouth now. And he's literally not frothing, but he's salivating from his mouth. And it's just running down his face, down his chin, and off his chin.
Well, sir, what brings you here?
He wants to bite us.
And he
Right.
says nothing. He just dribbles a bit more.
Riveting conversation, I see, is your goal. Well, I don't mind the extra company.
I'm always a bit leery about company that might bite my face.
Don't worry, he's only going to bite Racer's face.
Are you sure?
Establish that in the bet.
Yeah,
I
if
would
he
be
bites
funny.
Racer,
I
I
really
win
like
money.
my face.
It's only the elves. Don't worry about it.
I mean, you like your face, but you've got a leech. Right.
I'll be having that. Right.
Racer looks at everyone at the table. It's like, is this normal in the Empire? Something
No.
like this
Well,
happening?
Well,
I'll go
given
with
what
yes,
you've
this
seen
is
so
normal in
far,
the
it probably
Empire.
is.
No,
I've-
it's not normal for any of us. However, you could probably say that, yeah, there are people like that in the Empire here, there, and everywhere. You know, some people, they fall through the cracks. The Emperor provides, but the Emperor provides like a floor, and then everybody sits above the floor, and then some people fall on the floor. and then there are cracks in the floor, and some people slip through the cracks in the floor, and this is a slip through the crack in the
Kemper
floor
uses what's
kind of
called
guy.
a dripping ceiling method, where he lives above the ceiling and everything drips down to those who live below.
So let me get this correct. You're all mad. That's
By your standards, probably, yeah.
looks over at Ulrich. He's like, am I wrong?
Ulrich's just nodding.
I mean,
I
in
mean-
fairness, in the last week we've eaten 3 toad pies, and that's not
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and to be fair, by your standard, we are mad, but you camp inside a house. So that's mental, mate. That is...
You
And I
completely
mean-
misunderstand, but that's all right. That's perfectly all right, Master Turpin.
Right, well, gents, in the last day, we've been in active combat more times than your average handgunner or like one of Paulus's mates. I think unless this guy bites someone in the face soon, I'm probably just going to head to bed.
Well, I think we're going to have to wait till the common room clears out.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you want to bite Racer?
It's just like pennies furiously being pushed
Just
back and
like-
forth.
Racer looks over at you. He's like, are you sure, Caster, that you want to continue to push people to attack me?
I have every faith in you. Have I once bet against you today?
That is true. You are amongst humans, you are the most steadfast
leans across
liars
the
that I have
table.
ever encountered.
And he grabs the drink that is in front of Paulus and he pulls his arm back quickly and he starts drinking it. But he doesn't seem to drink it. He's just tipping it into his mouth and it's just running out of his mouth.
That's worth watching.
Oh, he's got a drinking problem. My uncle
Oh,
had
well.
that.
And he starts banging the drinking vessel on the table.
See, I thought this would happen. He's already fermenting too much, so the drink can't go in.
Right. Yeah. On account the foam was coming out earlier, so
Yeah.
he's clearly full of beer.
I see darkness gathering.
Well, it is night.
Last house of joy falls. Beware, beware. The shadows over Bogenhaven, they stir. Then, beloved, more resplendent investments of green stands astride Sigmar's great river. Yeah, I see death on the right. Can I despair? For then the stained hand guides the once mighty lord, as his power behind the throne curses us all. Lo, the horned rat then claims the broken king atop his throne of lies, and the white walls fall, leaving the empire in ruins. Terror, tremble in fear. Ye mighty, for the end of times is coming. The end times cometh.
I think
And then
that
he
answers your
comes off.
question, Racer.
And he wanders back over to his seat.
Hold on a minute. Could you repeat
He
that?
didn't-
I didn't get a chance to write it down.
Didn't bite anyone.
Racer
turns
sits
back.
back.
Shout over to him. Pardon, sir? You want to buy me a drink?
No, you just had one. I just want you to repeat what you just said.
I said, I didn't say anything.
Oh.
My mother's family are themselves mystics, and I would say that that man is touched by prophecy. We should heed his words.
Probably the only thing that's going to touch him, to be fair.
Right. Only the words he was saying involves a lot of
Hang on,
Yeah.
let me try and write
priests
it
of
down.
more and death.
No, it wasn't
Which-
Priests of More. It was just More himself.
So worse than death.
So,
Well, no,
yeah.
actually, just death.
Just death. Right. So
So
It
it was. It was.
Feels like we should avoid his words.
What did he say?
as
I'm
much
going
as
to try and
possible.
write it down. What did he say? Something, something. Shadows over Bogenhafen.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
Something about the
a
water.
horned rat and the
No,
Empire.
before the Horned Rat, there was
Ah.
something, something. Death on the right.
Right. Okay. So no
And
canals.
then there was the Horned Rat.
right.
But that's not possible because they're not real.
Well,
Yeah.
it might just be a rat with antlers. That we saw a man with a dog for a face yesterday.
That's true.
Racer
it was only earlier
turns
today.
Racer turns to Ulrich, and for probably the first time you guys have ever seen, actually seriously looks at Ulrich. If what that man said is a true prophecy, then I think we know that the rise is coming, and our mission is all that more important.
Can you help me remember what he said though? So
If
I
he mentioned the horned rat, something's wrong.
shadows over Bogenhafen. There was like darkness, shadows over Bogenhafen. Then there was more wearing green, and I'm sort of scribbling frantically on a bit of parchment as I
Death
go.
on the Reich, dying in the canal.
There was death on the Reich, which is a river, not the canal.
Right, death on a river.
And then after the death on the Reich, the horned rat rises, and
White walls falling down.
wasn't white walls, it was a throne that fell down.
Throne did something. White walls fell
Power
down.
behind the
Empire.
throne.
Power behind
Empire not
behind
good.
the throne. That's right. It was
Power.
shadows over Bogenhafen, death on the Reich, the horned rat, and power behind the throne. Yeah.
Would it be too much to ask them to bring prophecies like written down next time?
Paulus, most importantly, he
Who won?
didn't bite Racer on the face. So
I know, but
two
I
shillings,
don't
mate.
think. I don't
Jim,
think
I'm quite
either
clever.
of us
Can I remember
bet on,
the prophecy that he said and write it down?
Yeah. Well, if you make me an intelligence roll,
Flat intelligence, or is there a skill that might support it?
give me a role playing skill. Give me how you're, what would you use it?
I think. No, you're not wrong. I can't really think of a skill that's super appropriate for memory, so I'll take an intelligence roll.
Okay.
Nope. Dumbassed my way into that. So my notes go what I've said then. Something, shadows over Bogenhafen.
Can we call it there for 10 minutes while we just have a drink and toilet break?
That seems like
If we could.
idea.
I'll see you
Absolutely.
guys again in 10 minutes.
I like it.
Cheers.
In a minute.
Hello again. Back from our toilet and coffee break. We rejoin the merry band as they have just had some madman toss some prophecy at them. And yeah.
A list of module titles.
Absolutely.
And something about a horned rat, but that can't be a thing because Skaven.
Fictional.
Razor looks at Ulrich. It's like, I have no idea, once again, how your empire continues.
In bliss and
Breeding,
joy.
for the most part. I don't mean like breeding in the sense of nobility. I mean just breeding in general. Just
That'd be the only
constant
explanation.
throughput of hundreds and thousands of babies just all over the place.
I mean, a lot of them don't survive. It's just a numbers game.
Yeah, it is. It's a numbers game. I mean, how often do elves have babies?
Razor looks at you. He's like,
I've never seen a baby elf.
and you never will.
True.
I've never
Yeah.
seen a baby pigeon either.
That
What are you
you may
saying?
see. I'm saying that you're never going to go to the Lord and the Lorn forest to see.
No, I meant
them
what
as
he's
children.
saying is he's trying to say that elves are also pigeons.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Racer
Well, I've never seen a
walks
baby
They
away.
both
dwarf.
live in forests. I see what you mean.
Are baby dwarves born with beards?
That was exactly my question.
No, it's just stubble when they're first born.
5 o'clock shadow. Yeah.
Baby dwarves mostly like square. You know how you're like
You notice that
Blocky.
people are starting to file out now towards the rooms and things start to quieten down. the bard come merchant dwarf is snoring loudly where his
That's
stall
his best song.
Yeah, absolutely. It does sound a lot better than anything that he was singing.
I can see why he's touring the Empire and never make it in the Karazhan Corps.
Jim,
And the spot lady comes over to tell you all right, my lover? You ready for me to give you a good scene to?
only if I can watch.
I will pick
Well,
up the bottle of wine and take it with
You
me.
want me to teach you the ways of the healer?
I would love that more than anything.
Well, what you need to do is you need to go to a healing school or a college of some form, and you need to put in hard time. Yeah, so you learn it
Right.
yourself, like I did. Yeah, or you need to cross my palm with silver, and I'll teach you a thing or two.
Right. Well, let's do that. Stefan, pay the lady.
Can I cross your palm with wine?
Can you cross my palm with what?
Wine.
No.
Okay, all the more for me then.
I
I
will
should make
give.
the surgical experience less
I'll give the
uncomfortable.
last of my brass pennies, which brings me back down to 9 to add at the start of this session. And just keep on living that pauper lifestyle. Unfortunately,
No.
I only have it change.
For 4 shillings, I'll sort you right out.
Oh, I would have to talk to the boys on account of I don't have 4 shillings.
Paulus is gonna be like, "Don't look at me." Turned away
Well-
with his pint.
I suppose I should go put in some hard time.
Yeah. A little bit more than I've got, I'm afraid. Like 8 times more than I've got.
Yeah, it's the sum total of my family's fortune, I believe.
I'm afraid that I would not be parting with 4 shillings for any kind of human healing.
Looks like I'm sticking
For
with the
anyone.
leeches. I mean, thanks for the offer. It's great and all. But
Right, Stefan, round 2 healing. I'll do myself while we're at it. Can I pass a heal test on myself first?
Can
Go for
I aid Turpin since I
Please
do
do.
have the healing skill? It gives you a +10.
I would love that. So the only thing I can do is an average of +20. Is there a way, or should I just put a modifier on
I
it?
think you put
I
a
think you can put a
circumstantial
modifier.
modifier in.
Yeah, just 10. Yeah, and under modifier put in.
No, under
10.
modifier 10. Thanks, guys. All right, here we go. Impressive success.
Oh my god, you got a 1.
Excellent.
Yeah, the
How
only
many-
way that could have been better is if you'd rolled an 11.
How many wounds have you taken?
Taken 2 wounds from hitting the carriage at my head.
Oh, you're healing yourself. Sorry.
Actually, probably we should do Stefan first. Yeah, let's do Stefan.
Well, my wounds have all vanished somehow. I was, I'd taken
I made it worse if I
is it
remember.
4 or 6. I think it was 6 that I'd had.
I think it was 6, and I restored 2.
Yes, that's right. That'd be why I thought it was 4.
Yeah.
So yes, it was 4 at the minute.
So yeah, you feel as after Turpin's had a good going over with you see that part of the problem is these bandages that have been you sort of pull out this bandage and it seems to be like a bit of a magic trick as it keeps coming and coming and coming. But yeah, you pull this bandage out and then you dress it properly, you clean it up a bit and you put it on. By morning time, Stefan, you'll be feeling as good as new.
Right. And now I will see to myself.
And Racer will again help you with that.
Modifier 10, here we go. Marginal failure.
It's your intelligence bonus plus your SL. So what's your intelligence bonus?
My intelligence bonus is 2.
So you still
So,
hit 1.
1. Heal 1 wound.
Yep.
Thank you so much. 7 out of 8. There we go.
Paulus has 2 wounds, but I'm probably just gonna go to sleep.
Hey, I'm on
Just
fire
suck
tonight.
those up because it's better than the alternative.
Yeah, just
You
Paulus, do you
cannot
want,
drink
also
beer,
heal
go
some
to
damage.
sleep.
bandaging?
No,
Want some bandaging? I can take it
no.
right off Stefan.
It's fine. I just need a good night's sleep. And,
I've already mixed up the wood lice and goat's milk poultice, so I mean it's going to waste.
Well, I don't know. Alric, you okay? You look a bit injured. I don't know. Are you injured? Maybe you're
Not
injured.
in the slightest.
Give it to Alric.
They didn't lay a finger on me, manling.
There you go then.
All right. Well, right, I'm going to bed, so this will just have to turn overnight.
Maybe
You
it'll
could use it on
age.
fermenty. If you eat some, might, lower the fermentation.
Okay, so this dormitory where you are, it stinks, and there's lots of noise. There's lots of snoring, lots of farting. The smell is really dank and damp. Really
Like
frosty.
college.
Yeah.
It reminds me of home.
It reminds Paulus of his trousers, so
Oh.
Okay, you all drift off to sleep, and before you know it, you're awakened, and again as the crack of dawn happens.
Rest.
And to your surprise, as you all get up, you notice that the two coach drivers have got the coach all ready and are ready to go. If you want to grab some breakfast, we're keen on getting on our way.
Well, I can whip us up something really quick if you want. On account of I used to be a cook, do some trail rations.
Oh, indeed.
Right, well, I'll see what I have out my bag. Let's see, this wood lice poultice has gone quite nicely. Where's my cook skill? Talents. Craftsman cook. Does that do?
Say again, sorry.
I do have 2 talent points in cook, but I don't have a cook skill.
You could knock yourself something together, but there's breads and cheeses and.
Oh, I'll be able. Oh, what's the price though? Because this place is exorbitant.
It is quite.
You're okay as long as you have bread. If you try and have the bruschetta, that'll do you.
They have ration packs, so they're all wrapped in little nice handkerchiefs, and the ration packs are indeed
conveniently close to the door and
2
unguarded.
shillings a piece.
2 shillings a piece, yeah.
Right, I think I'll be continuing my intermittent fasting. And on we
Last
go.
time I spent 2 shillings on food, I called it November.
Yeah,
I mean the whole month of November.
I'm gonna order a mug of beer and drink that down. And that's breakfast sorted.
So there's your 3 pennies.
Yeah.
Racer's already out at the carriage. He's like, enough of this place.
Jim, our carriage drivers, were they going as heavy at it last night as they did the first night?
They seem to have it. They were going at it, but nowhere near as hard as they were the night before. And they do seem quite fresh and ready to go this morning.
Then I'll climb on to. Oh wait, the lady's not there. Can we go inside the carriage?
Yeah. Get yourself inside.
Unreal. I get a little seat. Get all cozy.
I'll hop on my horse and ride next to the carriage again.
Okay.
Oh look, do you want a hand up?
Racer's riding on the roof again. He's fairly certain the smell inside the carriage will be much worse, regardless of how much he gets rained on.
Not going to be any worse than that dorm room.
Can I hold my hand out of the carriage to Ulrich?
I'll ignore it and just get in.
I was trying to be nuts. All right. Yep, that's fair.
Okay. So this time the day goes. It passes quite smoothly. There's no real action or incident. And it basically takes several hours to negotiate the flats of
Mr. Ulrich, can you teach us a dwarven game while we're passing the time?
What's the halfling?
I don't think I've got time to teach you one of our games, Manling.
Does everything in dwarven culture take days?
Well, days to us is very different than days to you.
Explains the lack of babies, though, doesn't it?
It kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, foreplay's great and all, but 3 days of it?
Did the J thing.
Let me guess, you have a topical ointment for that.
Well, I do have this woodlice poultice, what I worked up.
As you begin to see the capital in the distance, you notice that you're travelling across vast marshlands, and they seem to surround, or from what you can see, surround the actual city itself. As you get closer, you notice the patchwork of farmlands, and as you get closer and closer, you're coming up to this intricate, very well carved wolf gate, and you think you're at the north of the city, and there's some guards there. You get into like a queue of the guards letting people into the city, and when it's your turn, the guards sort of have a quick check over of the coach and let you through. Basically, this city is enormous. If you've not been here before, it's almost breathtaking. And you seem to be travelling for ages, almost as long, you feel, as it took you to get to Altdorf from the last inn. And eventually you pull into this big open expanse of cobbled, like a big marketplace. And there's a big signs up that call it the Konigplatz. And there's people everywhere. It just looks like a big sort of city square, city centre. This square is probably bigger than most other cities or both, big towns. It's huge. And you notice that around is several taverns, maybe, in the tens, maybe in the hundreds as you're getting closer to this thing.
Smell the sophistication.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of people with sandwich boards on them who are shouting things like, "Come and dine at Angelino's, the best grub in town," and if you want the best pint, come down to the Boatman. All shouting. And eventually your coach sort of pulls up. This is where you get off, lads.
Much obliged, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers. See you later.
Gentlemen of the road, it has been a pleasure and a privilege sharing this journey with you. I bid you farewell.
Yeah.
Good luck with your studies, Stefan. Hopefully we'll not have to cross paths again on opposite sides.
Stefan, are you heading to the university?
Yeah, but not to study. I'm just going to pick up a permit.
Yeah, well,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, well, I'll go with you, I suppose.
I mean, I thought we were in this together. Yeah.
Ah,
Team forever.
I assumed that you were leaving our company now that you were in the city, but
I'll be honest with you, Master Racer.
Suddenly,
no.
there's some loud trumpeting, and people start moving back, and there's the sound of marching feet. In no time at all, a procession of soldiers belonging to the Reichland's 1st Regiment of Foot, the Imperial Guard, pushes its way through the Platz. The Emperor, looking square of jaw and proud in full armour and mounted on a magnificent ebony steed, barded in gold, rides behind the marching phalanx. Beside and behind him march ranks of knights in their full ceremonial regalia. The assembled crowds cheer as the procession proceeds. Only once the entire parade is passed, once the procession is passed, does business resume again.
Was that the actual emperor?
That was the actual emperor.
I-
Did
Did
you-
you? That's unusual.
Yeah, that is
Right.
quite unusual. Did
Are
you
we
notice
not-
how his honor guard didn't have trousers that had a slightly different shade around the crotch?
I will say I've fought
Did
with
not
them
notice that.
before. They're not very good. We did most of the heavy lifting.
Right,
I thought-
that
And the
was
heavy
the
pissing.
actual emperor, right?
That was the actual for real emperor.
Is this a regular thing? Does he do this?
I don't think he pops in for everybody.
Right, this is his city, is it not?
Yeah,
I mean, but he didn't come down. You know,
I mean, don't just swing by for anyone. That's kind of portentous.
I mean, Ulrich,
Well-
you know, like dwarves, right? Like they're high, low dwarves. He doesn't just walk down the street, does he?
Like, do if they need to get somewhere.
I mean,
Right. Okay.
Paulus, your nobility. Did he come because he heard you were coming?
I'm pretty sure he may have heard something about, a whole baronet thing. Maybe that's why he's.
So why didn't he
He's
stop for a
wondering.
chat?
Well,
If you two, you get on so well.
you know what it is. His whole entourage. He doesn't want to show him up. They remember
Paulus,
what
would you
happened
like
last
to-
time.
Would you like to make me a perception roll, Paulus? You make me
I
one
won't
at
do that.
easy. Everybody else can make me one at difficult.
Oh,
Astounding success. That's the only one I'll ever get.
+2.
Ooh, I got an impressive failure.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Hey, 100.
pretty-
I rolled a
I'm
100.
gonna stop betting on Racer at this.
I think Racer's
This
just
rate.
fallen asleep.
Okay, Elric.
dazzled by the might of the empire. That's what
Okay.
it is.
Baffled by all of your diatribe.
And Paulus, you notice that there's two men. All these people that are milling around, there's two men that stand out from everybody else in this square. And they seem to be signaling over to you. You in particular, Paulus. They're acting really strangely, but while you're watching them, one of them starts scratching his ear with the right finger, and then starts like,
Friends
Oh.
of yours.
I'll just go.
and their look turns from semi-confusion to like almost relief, and they sort of look over towards a tavern called the Bearded Man, and then they go over to there, and they look like they meet up with a gentleman dressed in leathers with a leather cape, and they disappear into the tavern.
Strange public hand signals. Gentleman dressed in leather. I think we all know where this is going.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a baron. Right. Well,
We'll
that is
Well,
the weirdest form of advertising I've ever seen.
we'll deal with that later. Don't worry about it.
Right. Okay. Well, we're
Racer
headed-
finally turns around. He goes, What are you talking about now, Paulus? Or
Paulus
Castor?
is old.
Now he's got some weirdos tugging on their ears, looking at him.
Yeah, it's a friends thing, you know.
Huh?
Must
Friends
be some
of
other manling custom.
friends of yours, Paulus, or friends of
Not that,
casters?
not that kind of friends.
I
I do not.
I
I don't know
don't
your
know
human
yet,
facial
but-
expression.
Racer, would you mind, generally sticking around my person for a
The
fair bit?
sex thing.
I will not be sticking around if Stefan is right. But if you were simply looking for someone to watch your back, we have been traveling the road together. I won't let anything befall you without at least a blade at your side.
Racer, I have an illustrated book I would like to show you later. I think you will find it illuminating.
Turpin, you continue to confuse and terrify me. But I'll take a look at your book.
Fantastic. Have a drink first. Right. Let's go
Wait,
get
is-
you
is
your
that-
magic license.
Is that Brinkrup's Guide to Marital Arts?
Yeah.
Just you sort of standing around there. There's a dwarf that goes past, and he's got a big boatman's hat on, and he's dressed in. He's got like these chest waders on, big one, and he sort of double takes at Ulrich. And as he looks at you, you recognise him. He's an old friend, an old friend, a childhood friend, in fact.
Oh, so not that long then.
You know him as Joseph Quarterkiln. Rick, is that you?
Joseph, it's been a long time.
Oh, well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs. I never thought I'd see you again.
Aye, it's been a very long time. I wasn't expecting to see you travelling this wretched country. I'll say in Kazalid.
The thing that you remember most about Joseph is he has some almost super dwarf ability of just being able to drink gallons upon gallons upon gallons of ale, and it doesn't seem to affect him. Yeah,
every dwarf's dream superpower.
Yeah, even the 5X, he can drink pints and tankards and barrels of this stuff, and it never seems to affect him. What are you doing in Outdorf then?
Well, sent by the king to represent our Karak. We've got to search the Empire for signs of chaos. And from what I've seen, the bloody place is full of it.
Yeah, well, you've got to be careful of them wizards.
I'll spit on the floor and look over at our wizard.
Yeah, they're having. I believe they call it debauchery fests in the wizards' buildings. Yeah, and apparently there's goats and all sorts involved in there. Yeah, it's getting bad, and apparently they're making deals with dead folk and things that have got horns, and I believe that people call them demons.
Aye, sounds about right from what I've seen. Bloody wizards. From also, looks like the nobles are in on it as well. I saw them wearing leathers and giving each other weird hand signals.
Oh yeah,
lot.
Thinking it was more for Stefan.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the nobility.
I'm speaking in Kazalid.
Oh.
Yeah, he's talking about don't get me started in about the nobility. Yeah, he said they're all inbred. Yeah, and they're all tainted with that chaos.
Aye, that's what I'm beginning to fear. And they don't even seem to know who the Horned Rat is. Daft buggers.
It's a bad thing. Yeah, there's lots of. Well, I've got a boat on the river. And, I travel in between here and Bogenhaven, and sometimes down to Ubersreich, and it's quite. It gives me quite a good living. Keeps me out of trouble.
Is that the direction you're going in?
Well, yeah, I've got a trip down to Bogenhafen soon. And,
is there something going on there? We've met some lunatic bastard who's yabbering on about Bogenhafen.
Yeah, they've got some festival going on soon down there. But yeah, it's we have a saying on the river: city folk are strange folk. But who wouldn't be living in a place like this with all buildings like cooped up on you?
I know. With the sky above your head, it's just not natural.
Yeah. Well, what was that about the Emperor, though? Oh, that was really special. I've never seen the Emperor before.
Yeah, that was a bit of an odd one. Wasn't expecting to see him. Any idea why?
No idea. No. Hoping that you'd be able to tell me something.
Whereabouts is your boat? Is that where you're staying?
Yeah, well, you fancy coming down and having a drink? I'm saying that there's a good tavern inn down there called the Boatman. And yeah, I'm staying in my boat and that. But yeah, I know the landlord down there, and I'm sure he'll put you up as a favour for me.
Yeah, that sounds good. See you there at sundown.
Well, do you want me to take you there now, and then you can go off and do your business? And
Aye, why not? I think that Muppet's got to go to the wizard school or something like that. Hopefully, he won't be banging any goats. Wouldn't put it
be
past the
careful,
landlings.
because he'll be sucking on the teats of goats.
If he does in front of me, he's going to see the wrong end of an axe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. But these mutations that are around at the moment, they seem to be affecting folk late in life. There's a boatman I knew, and he's now dead, but he suddenly developed like oily and yellowy skin and scales. Yeah, of course, his own family drowned him in the river, but yeah, it was wrong.
It seems to be a lot of wrong with this place.
Taking you down the greatest street in any city, though. It's called the Street of 100 Taverns, and there really is 100 taverns on this street. It's great. And these two dwarves are going at it in this language that... Do any of you speak Dwarfish?
Not yet.
Racer, I think they're talking about you.
No, they're talking about me. They keep looking at me. I think it's all good.
Probably.
Well,
I mean, you are going to be a wizard.
Knowing dwarves, they are cursing my ancestry and their failure to conquer us during their War of the Beard, and more than likely plotting to burn you, Stefan, the moment you fall to the ruinous powers. But such is the way of dwarfs.
You
do know about beards. You don't have beards. They have beards. What's the problem?
Well, that's what the fight would be about then, wouldn't it? Imperial wizards are supposed to fight the ruinous powers. We're on your side with this whole ruinous powers business.
That's what you keep telling me, and
I
hope
they really put us through our paces before they'll let us get anywhere near magic, and even the faintest sniff of corruption, and the witch hunters are on you. That's why I've got to go and get my license before I can really do much.
See, I mean, do any of your magic-y people have licenses?
We
have licenses.
We're the ones who taught you magic. Well, we allow you to learn a single wind of magic because you can't handle more than one. But
do you have licenses, though?
Your people taught my people how to do magic. If the elves didn't want us to do magic, they wouldn't have taught us in the first place. I'll grant you, not everybody has covered us in glory, but there have been some great names in magic through the ages. And I know that those great names might just be a flash in the pan for you long-lived folk, but we've done some good stuff. And our specialisms in the individual winds of magic have been an advantage at times, even to the elven folk of the forests.
Well, I'll allow you to continue to believe that, and that's all right. You'll come along.
Don't worry. If he does the whole, like the demonologist, I'll stab him.
You absolutely should. If I do anything dodgy, you stab away.
Oh yes, have no fear, Stefan. I'll make sure that it's quick and painless if you start to fall to corruption.
That'd be great, because if I do anything dodgy and the Inquisitors get me, they'll make it long and painful.
That's true.
Gentle folk and friends of Ulrich, I'm going to take you down this road here and show you a great inn. Yeah, the landlord owes me a favour, and I can get you rooms there for naught. But yeah,
what about breakfast?
I'll see what I can
at this
do.
point.
But I'll take you down there, and then I don't know if any of you are up for work, but I have some good paid work. I'm prepared to pay 2 shillings per day per person to go down to Bogenhafen with me soon and to the Schaffenfest.
Well, gentlemen, this is where I say my goodbyes. Hello, Turpin Merriweather. I'm a boatman.
I'm only going down there as well to be nosy. I've heard of some chaos goings on down there.
Well, you met the right crew on account of we have now killed, what is it, lads? 7 demons, and there were like 6 guys.
50 mutants. 50.
Yeah,
mutants.
it was about 50. Well, Racer killed.
I'll correct the numbers in Caslid as he's talking.
Ulrich killed about
the sorcerer.
Don't
Don't forget the sorcerer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the sorcerer. Yeah.
The summoner. We did him as well.
Road Wardens came along and congratulated us.
Racer looks
We'd
at
done
all
all
of
their
you.
work for them.
Racer looks at all of you, then looks over at this dwarf, and you'll have to forgive them. Humans and halflings are incapable of being honest.
Or counting.
And again, in Caslid, I'll say just like elves.
Joseph turns to you, or why are you travelling with the shit arse?
It's part of the old oath. Unfortunately, we're on a bound to send one elf and one dwarf to patrol the Empire and search out chaos. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with the pointy-eared nonce.
I'm not on about ears and hair. I'm talking about the shit arse, and points over towards the halfling.
It's just some scrub that we picked up on the road. It looks like he was about to get mugged when
I
we
wish he
showed up.
wore scrubs.
They didn't want to have a fight though when they saw a dwarf.
Ah, yeah. Well, you've always been one for a fight.
To clarify, Master Dwarf, you wish to retain the services of professionals to attend a party in Bogenhafen.
Sounds
So-
good to me.
I mean,
2 shillings a day
Yes,
to go to a
absolutely.
party
just
with
for
you.
sitting on a boat
Yeah.
and going to a
Yeah,
party.
I've got lots of things to take on and lots of things to take off. There'll be a bit of lifting and carrying, but then
Racer
you
is
know,
really
you do
good
what
at
you want while
carrying.
you're down there. You know, your time's your own once we've got done what we need to get done.
So will
I've
you
got
be
some
needing this-
paperwork to pick up, but it sounds great to me. Plus, I've never been to Bogenhafen. Is there lots of magic there?
Yeah, all sorts down in Bogenhafen, and some right strange goings on.
And will you be
Perfect.
needing the services of a cook/physician?
I've heard the town is ruled by a mayor, and he's got 4 heads.
Well, that's not a good thing. He needs murdering. I mean, purging.
Well, Racer's very good at that. Ulrich, that sounds like the kind of thing you'd want to put a stop to.
Well,
But
let's
I-
not take rumors to truth until we've verified them ourselves.
But we must go verify it, right? At 2 shillings for the good of mankind.
And Master Dwarf,
Definitely.
Dr. Turnip is an accomplished.
Cook.
Yes.
Shit arse cook. I'm very good at cooking and I'm pretty good at stitching. So
He fixed me right up when I was
Sometimes he combines the two.
I
As a future baronet, I vouch for every member of this party.
Ulrich, I mean, Racer looks over at Ulrich. Have you already accepted this passage to Bogenhafen? Do you think this is where we should take ourselves after we heard that madman's prophecy?
Well, seems as good a place as any to start looking.
Fair enough.
Well, I'll
he
take
knows
you
where
down
they're-
to the inn, yeah, and then go and do what you want. And then I'll meet you back at the inn, shall we say, 7 tonight?
perfect.
Aye, show us where it is first, and we'll come there after sundown.
Okay, so he takes you all the way down this street, and there really is tens of
I want to
taverns.
count them. Are there really 100?
You count. There's about 103.
Oh, he's right. He's
And then
right.
As
103.
pub court
come
crawl
down
in
to
the
the
making.
bottom of the road, the street.
That's
you
a
see
coma
river,
in the
is the
making.
riverside, and then on the turn to the left, down right on the street where the riverside is, there's quite a large inn with a sign out the front of it, quite a nice sign, and it's got a guy smoking a pipe with a big yellow hat on, and it's called the Boatman.
Wonderful.
A song about that.
So he goes in. Oh, Stan, could Joseph, how you doing? He said, I need a favour. He says, these are my friends. They're looking for somewhere to stay before we travel down to Bogenhofen. So can we have what? Could we have 2 double rooms?
Lunch.
Yeah, no problem. He said, do you want to come up with me? You can put your stuff in there. I'll give you the keys and you can lock the door and whatever.
Sounds great. Yeah. Well, I'll be doing that.
What about lunch? Is that about lunch?
Yeah, we'll do lunch afterwards. I want to offload.
Yeah, it's about 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon.
You know it's going to be fish stew, right, Sir Paulus?
It's a Boatman inn. You would want
Yeah.
fish stew.
Have
Precisely.
you seen the things in the Reich?
Have you eaten lately? Since maybe 2 inns ago?
This is a powerful argument for the eating of tentacled monstrosities from the deep, as long as they're little ones.
Precisely. Cut up, no problem whatsoever.
Racer, however, knows that there are elves that live in Altdorf. So he's like, well, perhaps I'll see if I can't find lunch somewhere else after we've settled ourselves here.
The question is this lunch you're looking for free?
You get what you pay for sometimes.
We've
Paulus.
got broth.
Is it fish broth?
Fish broth.
No, not fish broth.
Even better.
It's just outdoor broth.
Oh,
Sounds
Altdorf broth. That's different. Yeah.
I'm going to pay for lunch. I'm a halfling. 100%. I'm starving. Skip
Don't
breakfast.
think about it. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure lunch was part of the whole room deal. It's
I'm gonna
room
pay
and
for the
board,
rooms.
isn't it?
And I'm gonna gossip and haggle and just have a very good time, if at all possible.
Okay. So he asks you for 5 pennies,
Hand it over.
and he gets you quite a big wooden bowl, and he scoops some of this slop out, this big sort of cauldron effect on the bar, and he empties it into this bowl, and he gives it to you, and he picks up a chunk of bread and gives you that as well.
Lovely.
Well, I shall have lunch as well and pay my 5 pennies.
Make
Yeah,
me a
Resist chaos.
no, I'm not that bad.
If it's nice enough, I don't care.
Is it a melee polearm roll?
Outdoor survival?
Make me a fellowship roll.
I think I might be half decent at that.
Everyone eating or
Just a challenging?
Just Josh.
+3
I'll go
success.
for that.
That's
Is anybody else having the? So make me a fellowship roll as well.
Stefan
please.
was, yeah.
Oh, is that if you're having it?
Yeah.
Sorry. I deleted the roll because I thought it was just Josh.
5 pennies is very, very expensive for that sort of thing, isn't it?
So
We're in the
Maybe
tourist
it's
part of
really
town.
good.
let me just go to the prices. So common items that are normally around about 3 to 4 pennies for a pint of ale is what you'd expect to pay. A meal in an inn would be a silver shilling.
All right, okay.
Rations a day would be 2 silver shillings. A room, you're probably looking at 10 silver shillings.
Yeah.
or a common room router bed would probably cost you about 10 pennies.
Well, I am totally broke ass then. I've got 8 pennies left.
I'll have
Similar
some
enough.
stew.
So, what was the result of the fellowship test? Is that we just let
You're fine.
Does it taste good?
Yeah, it's quite substantial. It's very greasy. The meat in it's very greasy as well. So, Stefan, you're eating yours, and there's something very chewy in there, but it's not really chewable. If you know what I mean, it's like a big piece of gristle or something, quite a long piece of gristle. Then you sort of pull it out, and it's about so long, circular.
Yeah, rat's tail. Had them before.
Could be. That's a good shout.
Oh, it caters to dwarfs.
Yeah,
very clever. Very clever.
I think it's trying to cater to everybody in one broth.
And that's multitasking. That is clever. That
I'll point at it and go to Alric.
You can have
a
that.
Skaven.
I'll tell you what, when you see one, I'll leave it for you.
You're just about to swallow your spoonful of it. It's there on the end of the spoon. So, are you staying in the tavern, or would you like to go and do some business in the city?
Got business.
Yeah,
so I'll accompany Stefan.
Go find some dwarves.
I'll go round. Josh, are you planning to do anything?
I'm going to accompany my good buddy Stefan. I think we are going to get him a magic license.
Okay. Paulus?
Possibly also some debauchery.
Where did I need to be for collecting my rightfully earned title and money?
Was it not Bogenhafen?
It was Bogenhafen.
So, I've got some free time. I'm going to hang around Racer because I'm worried that someone clad in leather might want to talk to me.
It was the original job that you travelled up for, to accompany that noble into the Grey Mountains.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, what, the racist guy that doesn't want any dwarves?
Yeah.
We still want to do that? I mean, we're travelling to Bogenhafen now, and,
Yeah,
20
shillings a day,
Bogenhafen
20,000 gold when we get there.
That guy was only
20,000 is a
offering.
good number.
Yeah.
So we've got Turpin and Stefan going to pick up the license. Paulus, are you staying at the pub?
I'm just following Alric or Racer around, depending on where they're going.
Okay.
Racer would be heading out into town to see if he can find where the elves in Altdorf hang out and get himself a good meal.
Okay. Ulrich, what are you doing?
Ulrich's off to find dwarves in the city, which shouldn't be difficult. There's quite a lot in Altdorf.
Okay. Yeah, there'll be a couple of establishments. Paulus, who are you going with? Are you going with the elf or are you going with the dwarf?
Oh, see, Racer mentioned food. Alric didn't, so it's an easy choice.
It's a fairly safe bet that elf food probably doesn't contain rat tails.
Yeah,
Probably not.
So yeah, we'll deal with Ulrich first. So Joseph's sort of still knocking around with you anyway. He says, I know this great tavern up the road. Yeah, they sell Bugman's in there. It's great. So got some real good food as well, some real solid stuff. He says, you want to go there for a few beers?
That sounds like a good plan. I don't like the look of what they were eating.
Yeah, the plaited beard, it is. It's a great place.
I don't know what's with manlings who'd want to eat rats.
I don't know. Filthy. I once met this one man, yeah, and he reckons he was married to a pig.
Had a really, really bad comb over.
Yeah,
Yeah, we met that weirdo. I don't want to know what he does to that poor bastard pig.
Oh no. Well, yeah, obviously sweet nuptials, I think.
Strange buggers, these manlings.
Indeed. So over to, and you go to this pub. The company's great. They're really friendly in there. You don't feel at home, but you feel almost at home. It's great. You've got a little bit of respite away from Racer and his attitude and the human ways and the bits and bobs. Yeah, and it just feels nice to be with your own kind, nice and calm. You know, if you weren't on an official job, you could very easily just stay here for 10 days and just get yourself paralytic. You know, it's great.
So while I'm there, I'm going to basically see if any of them need anything taking to Bogenhafen, or
Okay.
seeing as I'm going anyway, seeing if I can help my kindred.
You could actually. So there's one fellow, and he wants you to take a package for him, and it's got an address on it. He says if you could, he says, I'd be willing to pay you 2 silver shillings, sir.
Oh, what is it?
It's a present for my betrothed.
I'm assuming. So it's an address in Bogenhafen.
Yeah.
How big is Bogenhafen? I've never been there.
It's quite big. It ain't as big as our halls and under mountains and things, but it's big for a place. Not as big as this place.
What did you get her?
I got a nice necklace, an amulet.
I could deliver that for you.
It's got a really nice golden anvil on it.
Right, I'll keep it safe for you.
I appreciate that, friend. So, Racer, you wander around and you eventually come to this. Paulus is with you. You eventually come to this quite nice-looking establishment, and it's as if someone has picked up a forest and dropped it in the middle of the street. And there's like potted trees outside this establishment, and above the door it says in a big sign, all in bark, yeah, the wicker and the woad, yeah, and it's fine dining.
I look at Paulus.
Those trees.
I go, well, shall we, my associate?
I'll follow you. You lead on. Although
So,
someone really should plant these trees somewhere. Like maybe outside the city.
Please let us just enjoy a meal in some semblance of quiet.
So you go in there, and it's like, again, same as Auric. Everything is right with the world again, and you're with your own people. There's no rude. Well, there's a rude human with you, obviously, but everybody else is so polite. They're really kind, really nice, the most friendliest people you've met for ages. Paulus, you've never met a bunch of more ignorant wankers in your life.
I mean, they're just...
They're giving you the dirtiest stares, and most of the time they've got the backs to you.
In Elvish, I speaking to our host, You'll have to forgive me for bringing my manservant in. He's guiding me in the city, and I promised that he would finally have actual food and drink, as opposed to the horrendous swill that these humans consume. Don't even get me started on dwarf food.
Yes, well, what is it you would like, friend? We serve a fabulous wild mushroom. And,
That sounds perfect.
a carrot and coriander stew that is to die for.
One of each.
Okay. And they bring you the same over as well. They don't look at you or acknowledge you again. Or, yeah.
I'll look down
Paulus,
at it.
Paulus, this meal will be magnificent.
It seems to be missing, like, the because maybe the bread. Is the rest coming, or
Just enjoy the meal in silence.
Racer, it's seasoned to perfection. The mushroom is absolutely exquisite, and the carrot and coriander stew soup, it's just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's like drinking nectar again. I mean, you've been such a long time away from proper food. This is beautiful. Paulus, it's bland. It's not seasoned. You could do with some sort of sauce on it. You could do with a shitload of salt on it, definitely. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. If I catch any of their eyes, even Racer, I'll just sort of rub my belly and go, mmm.
Racer just puts his head down in his hand for his. He's like, just remember, Paulus. Just silently sit there and enjoy a moment of perfection.
I haven't said a word. Not one word.
And yet still, your company is terrifying these people.
Okay. So, Turpin and Stefan, you start making your way over to
I'll be
the college.
I'll be honest with you, Turpin. I've not got a clue what to expect. I mean, I'm foreseeing some kind of officious prick at a desk, making me go to a different desk and fill in a form in a different color. But equally, it could just be a bunch of pissed people dressed up as dwarves running around collecting money for charity, or it could be debauched wizards fucking goats, apparently.
Well,
I'm hoping not that.
If I'll let you in on the ground floor here. If it's anything like my education, well, A, it didn't happen, and B, they wanted a lot of money for it. So we may need to make a bit of coin. I mean,
I've done the groundwork. This is literally just picking up the certificate. I've done the work. My mentor has sorted everything out. And she told me all I've got to do is I've got to turn up here and I've got to get my certificate. And then I've got to go out in the world and document some cool magic thing.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds easy, right?
As I understand it. I mean...
Okay. Well, you lead the way. You need me to be like your assistant or vouch for you?
Shouldn't be necessary. If Mistress Uralt has done everything, then everything will be in place. And it should be, put my name in a big book. Here's a parchment that says you can do magic, maybe a nice big wax seal.
Right, yeah.
And then we might be able to get some free food out of the commissary.
I'm assuming some sort of wine, right?
That'd be great. Let's not hold our breath.
Right, well, let's get on. So lead the way.
Yeah. Bread and sausages at least, I would think.
So, you eventually work your way through the streets and you end up at this rather impressive looking building with pillars outside of it and steps that lead up to the door. there's a couple of guards at the front door with halberds. Their armor doesn't look like armor. It's multicolored. It's almost like fancy dress. There's lots of silks, lots of stocking, lots of frills on stockings.
Swiss Guard-tastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And they sort of stand there. They don't stop you as you enter. And there's a lady with purple hair that is all sort of done up in a Marge Simpson style hair. I couldn't find Marge Simpson's. And she looks up at you, and she's got a couple of books in front of her. She says, "Can I help you, sir?"
Yes. Hi. Stefan Komish. I'm here to pick up my license.
Stefan Komish.
I'm a student of Bright Wizard Alda Uralt.
Yes. Yes. And she opens another folder and she pulls out this piece of paper and reads it. Yes. And then she gets this big stamp and she stamps the piece of paper. It's all been sorted out for you, Mr. Komish.
Oh, wow. That was much easier than I thought. Thank you. What do I do next?
You leave?
Is there a canteen, you were saying, Stefan?
Yeah, is there a canteen or a student bar around?
Yes, but it's closed.
Oh.
Typical.
And she looks, as she says,
I need to take the license from you when I leave?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, just one thing. Is there any particular field you're going to be looking at specialising in?
I have yet to pick my specialism.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards Azir.
Good.
If that's okay.
Yeah. She writes down, shuts the book. Have a good day.
Right.
Thanks very much.
Well, Stefan, my cousin runs a really good halfling pub. You may need to duck, but it's just a beer. I reckon it's in Altdorf anyway. That's what he told me.
Sure. I mean, I was hoping for maybe a ceremony, perhaps a hat.
You are great. Right, let's get the drink on.
Hey, do you know what? A pound to a pinch of shit says a halfling pub's better than an elf one.
I hear it then.
And I will roll up my license, tuck it in my robe, and I kind of sulk my way out of the College of Magic.
Much the same as I did with my actual art degree. So,
hey, at least you went to yours.
So
that's it. I'm a Bachelor of Wizards.
Could you both make me a perception roll, please?
Oh no. Perception. Marginal failure.
Total failure. I was about to say perception something.
Can I fortune point to get +1 success on it?
Of course you can.
Yeah, I'll do that then. So a marginal success.
So as you are walking back to find a halfling place to eat or back to the boatman or wherever you're going, you notice or you think that you're being followed. Did you notice the guys who were in?
Yeah, we Paulus drew our attention to it anyway.
Yeah, so they look like the two guys that were making hand signals at Paulus.
Hmm.
But they are keeping quite a distance.
And they're not trying to catch our attention at all, no? They're not doing like any of this noise or a little bit of that. They're not like to us, are they?
They sort of turn around and they're looking at the other way.
Right, so I think safety in numbers. Let's hit the halfling pub.
Okay. You find a halfling.
Are you going to tell me about these guys following us? Because I didn't notice.
Nope.
I'm just disappointed about my lack of pomp and ceremony.
Yeah.
You find this halfling inn called the Well-Filled Pie.
What a great name.
Yeah, and
That is a brilliant name.
true to the name of the place, they serve pies. And there's a little sign on the side of it, and it's got Goodfellows pies.
They get around, don't they? The salmonella.
My cousin Dolly works in here. Well, at least she did the last time I checked. You know, we just hello Dolly, and maybe cheaper points. You might want to duck and just go into the door.
Do I have to put my shoes on my knees?
No, that's a slur in our culture.
Right. Okay.
yeah.
I'll just duck then.
Yeah.
Sorry. We had this thing at college and you put
That's
your
all right.
shoes on your knees, and I wasn't sure if it was a real thing. But
No, so hey, look, you're learning. You're
yeah,
learning.
I'm learning. You know, I'm not one of those guys. If that's bad for your people, I won't do that.
Well, that's all right. As long as you're not a rat fucker like this dwarves. Come on in.
Okay, so again, the pies are really nice. They're a nice pie and tater plate. You're talking a silver shilling for a meal.
I suppose we split one.
Or you could have some potatoes, and that'll cost you 5 pennies.
Potatoes it is.
Potatoes it is. Yeah, that's me down to 3 pennies.
I'm on 4, so yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just enjoying.
You have your fill of these potatoes. Well, you don't really. You have
We have some
They're nice.
potatoes. It's
They're
a bag of
tasty.
crisps, isn't it? Be honest.
Yeah.
We got a bag of crisps.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they are what they are. But yeah, and she comes and clears the plates away, and it's
How
time
do
to
they
leave.
slice them so thin and make them taste of cheese and onion?
It's all in the dusting.
Truly, your people are gifted in the
Yeah.
culinary arts.
It is both a gift and a curse. Right, shall we get back to the other lads on account of well, it's getting near 7 o'clock. I looked at my watch, but I don't have one of those in this game.
Let's go to a place where someone else is paying for the drinks.
That's good to me.
Okay, make me an easy perception roll, please.
Oh, I forgot. That's not a good sign, but in real life, I forget we're being followed. +4.
And +2 for me.
Okay. Again, these people are there again, and they seem to be following you.
Oh, Stefan, meant to say we were followed in here.
Oh, great. That's Paulus's sex club people, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. They might have a thing for like small people and skinny people, so it could be.
Do we stop and talk to them, or do we just go to the boatman and hope
Jim,
they leave us alone?
Are they close? Like we've spotted them now twice. Have they noticed we spotted them?
Oh, well, every time you turn around, they sort of turn around and.
Oh,
And if we were to kind of waddle over, would it?
that's
No,
so creepy.
They sort of move away a little bit.
Right. Okay.
All right, so they don't want to talk to us. They just want to follow us. Clearly looking for Paulus.
So
He's the one in the sex club.
Yeah, it's probably like a watching thing.
Yeah.
All right. You just kind of give them a wave and waddle on down the tavern.
The snakes. Yeah. Okay. You get back to the boatman. These people are still following you.
I'll stop
You
and turn
want to-
around and like point at the boatman sign and give him a thumbs up.
Okay, they sort of turn away again.
Are you
You got it?
looking for anyone in particular?
They sort of go walking back up the street as you start talking to them.
Right, that's fine. No, it's definitely for Paulus.
Okay, you all get back to the tavern roughly about the same time, about 6 o'clock-ish.
Paulus, your friends were looking for you.
The sex club ones
All right.
with the
Yeah.
leather clothes and the funny.
They said you owed us 2 shillings.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Can it wait until we, get to Bogan off and
Stefan will have to calculate the interest, but yeah, we can do that.
Is there an interest really though? Like,
Well, they were certainly.
doesn't
interested
feel
in us.
interesting
That's all
to
I'm
me.
gonna say.
there you go. You should have gone and said hello.
How was your elf dinner?
It was yummy.
Was it
Wow.
really? Because we had a halfling dinner.
It
I'll look
was-
around and see if Racer's nearby.
Racer's looking.
Yummy.
Racer looks and he goes, "It was perfect for my palate, but I believe we all know that Paulus found it distasteful."
They can't taste for shit.
No, it
I
is
think that's
simply
not the
that
problem. I think it's the opposite problem, Sir
Yes.
Paulus. I think they've got this super refined palate where they can pick out individual strands of flavor.
Yeah. Okay, I
and
had
it's just
a
not the way we're
mushroom,
wired.
and it was a
and
good
a
mushroom.
carrot with a bit of green sprinkled over it for lunch.
And it was delicious.
Okay, the
Where was
halfling
meat?
pub we went to, they had pies.
Ulrich, how was your rat?
Pies.
We didn't have any of the pies.
Shh.
Oh, by the way, Stefan, have you actually received your license? Are you now?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Ulrich,
Congratulations.
Sorry,
you
I,
like some tasty meatloaf
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll pull out my little scroll and go.
for free.
Yeah, I'm a qualified, certificated wizard of the Empire.
Well, that's
He has
good
a
to know.
license now.
Let's be honest. Without that piece of paper, you're likely to be burned at the stake by one of your people. So
It's
it is
true,
best to
but-
keep that close.
I just wish there'd been a bit more,
Ross.
pomp and circumstance and ceremony to it, like a graduation instead of a rubber stamp and be on your way.
Be glad you
They're
didn't
in-
have one. They'd have
As
probably
you're all
served you bloody
sitting there,
rat,
the
you
door,
weirdos.
the front door slams open, and in strides a medium-looking chap. He's dressed from head to toe in black. He's got a black neckerchief on as well. That looks like he's got a black hood, black leather armor. Everything's black. He's
Aye.
really sort of color coordinated well.
I
And
think the lady doth protest too much.
And
Yeah.
I
think
feel
it's time
like
to walk
he's
in and
the
go,
average
"Where is
female
she?"
participator, but yeah.
he walks over to the bar. As he walks past a couple of tables of people, he sort of knocks into them and just growls at them as he walks past. Then he goes up to the bar, "Give me a bottle of brandy." And the barman sort of quivers away from him and gets a bottle of brandy and gives it to him. And then this guy goes and walks past your table, fucking inbreds. And he just goes and sits down in the corner, puts his feet up on another chair and sits back, leant against the wall, supping from this bottle. Just seems to be chuntering to himself about things. And every now and again, he looks over towards your table, and you feel like he's muttering insults over towards where you are.
Well, Sir Paulus, I'm broke, but I'm qualified. So if you need a court magician, I'm happy to pledge myself to your service. And frankly, at this point, I'll do it for room and board.
I mean, that sounds both awesome and terrifying. So
It's a good thing. It's a good thing there's no such thing as a medical license.
But you're broke, aren't you?
Well,
Until you get your 20 grand.
Yeah. So we'll keep it. We'll
Let's
keep you
work on the
retainer with back
collected
interest.
scamming.
Ulrich, Racer,
Scamming? Haven't scammed anyone.
you're due 100 years of hunting down chaos.
100 years with this dwarf. Fortunately, he'll only live for another 300 or 400 after that, and by then
Right.
I'll be able to erase my memory of him.
And is this year one or
Unfortunately.
right? Okay,
Oh, the first year of your 100 years together.
right.
It's
And
more to the case. Our first 2 months.
wow,
Ow.
it's in the honeymoon
Ow.
period.
Joseph leans over to you, Roger. All right. How'd you put up with this shit ass elf? He's a right knobhead.
I've met an elf that isn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
good news. Now that I'm qualified, I might see you through that century, and
the
we can
Ulrich
hang
of
out
old
at
to
the
give
end
him
of
a
it.
big chin in now.
Unfortunately, the terms of the oath mean we're not allowed to do it.
Oh,
Otherwise, I'd have lamped him by now.
do you want me to hit him with a chair?
As funny as that'd be, it'd make him a bit slower to travel.
The elves are slow enough anyway, aren't they? Especially in the brain.
Aye, that's all too true. But so are these bloody manlings. They were even eating rat earlier. Strange buggers.
I think they're talking about us again.
You're just saying that because they keep looking at us and grunting.
Without a doubt,
Just do what
Paulus,
I did with the elves.
If two dwarfs are speaking, they're talking about their grudge against either my people or your people. It's simply guaranteed.
Grudge
My
against
mother
our
used to
people?
always say, if there's 2 dwarfs in a room, then there's 6 alliances.
She is not wrong.
Yeah.
What time when are you thinking of heading up to Borgenhafen?
Probably tomorrow. Yeah. He gets the pouch of money out and he says, "Yeah, are you all planning on coming with me?" Or
Yeah, absolutely. Totally in.
well, I'll pay, even though you've done nothing. I'll pay you for today. So you get
really?
two shillings each.
Steak gets better and better.
Thanks.
There, bear, and I don't have to take my clothes off or anything.
No,
Wizard
no.
now. That's
I
for
am.
the
I'm a-
goat.
No, there was no debauchery, by the way.
Yeah, disappointing, really.
0 debauchery at the wizard school.
Very clinical.
The sexiest thing in there was one haircut.
Well, it was me.
Second sexiest thing in there was one haircut.
Yeah. We was in there about 4 minutes in total.
Yeah.
You sure you were at the right wizard level for,
All right, maybe
debauchery?
I'm not at the right level for debauchery. Maybe that doesn't kick in until like you're a wizard lord. But
to write you a letter as a baronet in future. Maybe
as a future baronet, you'd like to write a letter saying that I'm owed dubious perversions.
We'll count it as down payment on your retainership.
I'll be honest,
Stefan.
Don't think there's
Stefan.
perversity happening.
Those
I think
who
it's just the
seek
common folk.
those who seek perversity are walking the ruinous path.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
know how we feel about that.
You're not wrong.
Let alone this
But that's what
century.
I'm saying. I think it's just the common folk assuming perversity out of things they don't understand, because they don't understand that study is arduous, it's long, it's hard.
But it can't be that long with your lifespan.
I was going to say, you could not
All
have
right,
studied
long
for more than
for us.
2 decades.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Most-
love bringing that up.
All right, like some
you're
of
a
the elf,
thing.
yeah, you get a couple of centuries to study magic, so you can learn all the winds. And dwarves, you basically just hammer magic into things, don't you? I'm not an expert.
Disapproving head shake.
Now, see, mostly what I was trying to get at is if we could get Stefan in, we could find out about it, and that would surely make your jobs a lot easier.
Paulus, I don't think
definitely
it's debauchery.
wasn't
I think it's
promoting
just
debauchery.
peasants. I think you're into the debauchery at the minute with your sex club friends.
Yeah.
Some of them
speaking
followed us, by the way.
They're probably outside right now.
Yeah, we were followed here. And every time we turned around to look at them, they were all like, no, we're not here for you.
They're not very good at their job, Paulus.
They're worst spies. They were definitely, and it was some of the same guys from the Königplatz.
It was this guy.
Did you scratch your ear at them?
We did all the things. We
tried
were
everything.
like, strike a pose.
I was
and
doing
all
the
that.
chicken.
Through the doorway comes 6 fellows. 4 of them are huge, huge men, almost ogre size, but they're just really, really big human men.
Oh, that
And
can't be good.
there's 2 of them that are really young, really well dressed,
No,
and they look quite drunk.
they're nobles, aren't they?
And the 2 of them sort of walk in and they point over at the tables. One of them points at yours. Ah, filthy commoners, smelly oinks.
Yeah. Called it.
Yeah,
Now-
yeah, well clocked. But we're
I'm
not.
gonna be a baronet.
Yeah, I know.
Their clothing would really kind of suit me.
You should stand up and say, how dare you,
Rah,
sir.
rah, rah. We're going to bash the oinks.
Right, how dare you, sir. Go on, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Paulus will stand up. Racer says, "How dare you, sir?" But he's elvish, so you can't understand him.
Racer looks at Paulus. He's like, I don't know why we tolerate you, but
Filthy oink, filthy oink. They start pointing at Paulus and singing this over. Filthy oink.
it seems like they want you to join in their chorus.
And then one of them
Paulus.
turns to the other and goes, Brandy Bounce. Brandy Bounce. And they go over to the bar and they order some brandy. And then one of them gets this bottle of brandy and he sort of guzzles it down and starts jumping up on the spot and running round in circles.
Oh, at this
Might I
point,
suggest
Bounce.
we have
Bounce,
nothing to do with this?
bounce. Make
Oh,
me
I
a
think
dodge
you have
roll,
to go and
Paulus.
put your thumb up his bum or something at this point.
what roll do I have to make?
A dodge roll, please.
Oh, no.
Oh. Oh,
Oh,
+2.
Okay. Can everybody who's sitting around the table make me a dodge roll, please?
Um,
right.
maybe
Probably
my
not.
foundry keeps crashing, so we will see.
Okay.
-2 failure.
I'm going to fortune that.
+3 success levels.
Holy Christ.
Oh,
I
nice.
Come on, Racer.
Good job.
Give me a
Yeah,
sec.
no, I failed. I failed.
Okay.
Are we making dodge rolls? What's that under? Combat?
No, it's a skill.
It's a skill.
It's
It's a
Dodge.
skill. Splendid. I have skills.
Well,
I don't necessarily have that one.
Just remember, everyone, I want their clothes.
Dodge. I'm pressing the button. Nothing's happening. It's not looking great.
Okay.
have you moved your character sheet? It could be popped up behind.
It's not the character sheet. It's the interwebs.
Oh,
Hold on a second.
roll
Let
your
me just
agility.
refresh.
Well, I totally failed that anyway, so whatever the consequences are, you can chuck on me, Jim.
All the important characters succeeded, don't worry.
I think I'm
Spirit.
about to get a brandy bottle to the noggin.
And so did the elf.
Oh, here we go. We're getting somewhere.
Definitely going to be an outstanding success. We don't
It's
really
not, is
need to
it? I
see
mean, let's
it.
be honest. Nothing's happening.
What's your
it's
dodge skill?
clearly just
My
going to
dodge
be
skill
like
is
+5.
35.
Okay. I'm going to roll it for you, Ben. Okay.
Go ahead, mate. I can see
Better
it.
than
I just
mine,
can't
and I
do it.
succeeded.
Hell, I succeeded in a dodge. You know it's bad when that happens.
Ooh.
Myself and Ben failed exactly the same event. We fly together, we die together.
Okay.
You could be my
So,
wingman anytime,
This
Ace.
guy's running around and bouncing around the floor, and then all of a sudden, there's this loud belching noise, and he flicks his head towards Paulus, and literally spews, and it sprays towards Paulus, who, like is in a film called The Matrix or something, doubles back on himself and moves out the way. Unfortunately, young Turpin is stood right behind him and catches the full gulletful of chunder as it slaps you across the face and runs down your armor. And then he turns about, squeals, "I got the young child!" and skips back over to his drinking friend.
I'll say to them, didn't want to do that. The dwarf is best friends. He was gonna throw the halfling earlier. They're the best of pals. That is
Filthy oink, filthy oink, filthy oink.
Razor looks down at Ulrich. He's like, I don't understand these humans. I don't think this has anything to do with us.
Ulrich, how does your friend feel about us maybe damaging this establishment a little bit?
I'll just look at my friend when he says that.
Why would you want to damage the establishment? If you've got a problem, knock him out.
Well, we're not going to try and damage it, but it probably will get damaged.
Well, you'll have to pay damages, I suppose.
Ulrich,
Can you
Racer.
take it out of their whatever they have on them?
These
And
are
I'll
the
point
pricks
at the other
that you
table.
can vent your dislike of humanity on because they fucking deserve it.
One
These
of them
assholes have
chair
done
from
nothing
underneath
useful
one of the
in their
people on the other
lives.
table, and he smacks his chin on the table and sort of ends up on the floor. And they
It's
both
amazing that he managed to hit his chin because they're all chinless twats.
While all this discussion is
Isn't
going
this
on,
against all your
Turpin-
stupid laws?
Turpin is going to like unvomit himself as best he can and just begrudgingly walk over to the front door of the tavern, pull it closed, and slide the latch.
I'll say to the other dwarfs, maybe get the boat ready.
As you shut the door, there is a large hand that comes in the way and puts his hand on the door before you can sort of shut it. And it's one of these, you can only describe them as bodyguards.
Yeah,
They don't seem to be having a drink. They're just standing there. Don't seem to be enjoying themselves. They're just stood there for...
That's predictable.
Yeah.
We got a couple of choices here. I know how this goes down. There are two ways this goes down. There are three ways this goes down. Way number one, the chinless twats continue to make a mockery of us and we put up with it. Way number two, we get into a fight, the bodyguards get involved, it gets
Racer and
messy,
Ulrich go to
shit
bed.
gets broken. Way number three, we humiliate the twats in the thing they're enjoying most, which is drinking. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Master Alric, but you're a fucking legend at alcohol abuse.
As is your mate.
Nothing abuse about it.
Well, I mean,
At that point, Paulus is going to slam on the table. Drinking competition.
Hey, I'll say over to my friend Kesslid, how about you challenge that buffoon to a drinking contest? I've seen you drink a full barrel of Boatmans.
this
I'll just
goes
point at
badly
them.
if we don't outdrink them. If we outdrink them, nobody gets hurt except their livers. If we try and fight, someone gets hurt. If we try and ignore, someone gets hurt.
Racer looks at you and he's like, I am having nothing to do with this situation.
As you slam on the desk and say drinking competition, this empty bottle of brandy goes flying past your head and hits the wall behind you.
Right, that's it. I'm baronet.
And you're fucking lightweights.
Racer just looks at Ulrich. He's like, this is not our fight. I don't.
Okay, this bottle comes flying over in your direction, Ben. Could you please make me a dodge roll?
He's hoping.
Is this from the bodyguards or from the? Or
Yeah,
Apparently, no, I
nobles?
can't make you a dodge roll because every time I press on the dodge button, nothing happens.
All right, give me 2 seconds. Where are we?
I feel like our hand has been forced here, gentlemen.
Oh, you died.
We
You
are
dodge
the-
out of the way.
Yeah,
And
right.
this,
That's
this
it.
bottle hits the middle of the table.
Jim, how many bodyguards are there? Is it 3?
4.
4 bodyguards and 2 noble
No problem.
sons.
Yeah.
And 2 of those bodyguards have been throwing bottles, or is it the same guy?
But 2 of the bodyguards, as the posh kids have just passed them the bottles and they've thrown it over.
Right. Can I slam the door on this guy's hand that has his hand in the door?
And he's sort of got his hand on the door there as you.
Oh, he's got it on the door. Oh, never mind, Seb. Never mind.
Stick a
Just
knife
gonna
in it.
I was thinking it, but that's a real escalation. Of it. Sir, can
Yeah,
you
pulling
please stop
blades.
throwing bottles at my friend?
I really want to hit them.
As you say that, the guy dressed in black stands up on the other side of the room
Oh no.
and he shouts over to all of you. Oi, you lot, demigrades, sit down and enjoy yourselves, or I'll make you sit down permanently.
Whose side is he on? Sit
And
down
he-
permanently? That makes no sense. You either lie down or you stand like sit down. What
He's
are
a
you going to do?
physician. He knows.
And he sort of pulls his leather armor to one side and he's got a sword there and he's just sort of giving it tickles on top of his sword.
I shall
but-
pull my robes to one side and have a bit of parchment there. And I shall tickle my parchment a little bit right back at him.
I'll lean back with my sword and dagger.
What is with these?
And look at Racer and
Unwillingness?
be like, come on.
Racer
What
We're
looks.
you've
on
done
our
to me.
side.
Look, this is silly.
Racer looks at all. He's
That's like one
I-
day. Come on.
Like all of you humans deserve everything that happens to you, from what I can tell.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure if I
but
pull
we're
my
the
axe,
humans
Racer,
on
we're
your
breaking
side.
a law somewhere.
What would you do in this situation? I'm saying whilst like trying to wrestle the door off this behemoth. I mean,
Your
I'm
hand's
covered in
stepping on the lock
chunder.
a bit as well because you've still got
Yeah.
all the.
I'm covered in chunder. They're
Yeah.
throwing bottles. I mean, am I the bad guy here? Is he
Oh,
the
no,
bad
no.
guy? Is
No,
capitalism the bad guy?
You're
Not
all
the
bad
arsehole.
guys.
Dr.
All of-
Turnip.
All
And
of
then
these
one of-
humans.
One of the posh guys bends down towards Turpin.
Gonna get vomited
And-
on again, haven't I?
He starts prodding you to every time he says a word. Filthy oink, filthy
Wipe
oink,
vomit on him.
filthy oink, filthy oink.
Turpin,
And there's
I'm
big
a
bloke sort of
baronet.
leaning behind him, sort of giving you the eyes behind him.
I'm just gonna keep doing this to the guys. I mean, like,
All
what?
right. Leave the halfling alone.
I'm a
Enough.
baronet, Turpin, and I give you permission
Pointy
to hit
oink.
him.
Pointy oink, pointy oink. Ooh, listen to me. I talk to trees. Ooh.
It's called glamping. It's different.
You better
And
be
they have
careful,
really
or
nice
arrows
carrot
at you.
soup.
Ooh.
It's the laws
Racer,
of kicking him in the balls.
yeah, Racer looks over at Ulrich. He's like, Joseph, are you going to call the city guard, or is this something we're going to have to deal with?
Can we just leave? I mean, like, are they detaining us? That guy's holding the door open, right?
You could slip through the door where you are. At the
Go
moment.
just piss off.
Yeah, Okay, yeah.
Why should we run away from these arseholes?
I kind of feel like
We
this
have a
goes one
wizard.
way, right? We had a fracas with a known demonologist the other night, and we still ended up nearly getting arrested. These are nobles who are like
but
above us in every way.
we're getting on a boat.
I'm this close to shivering one, and I know how that ends.
So yeah, Racer will look at Joseph. If this goes poorly, would you be willing to leave tonight?
Why don't you, country bumpkins, wash the swill off you and fuck off out my city?
Racer looks around. He's like, I don't see any country bumpkins around here. Just arrogant ass hats.
Yeah, and the only person with filth on him is Dr. Turnip, because he got vommed on by these dickheads.
I have many comments about your diet, sir.
You pointy bastard, why don't you stand up and let me knock a new hole in your face?
Is it one of the bodyguards talking or the
No,
guy
it's
in
the
black?
guy in black.
Wait a minute. This is a fucking setup.
Of
This
course
is a
it is.
setup, guys. We need to. Oh no, this is bollocks. We need to go.
Yeah, I'm slipping out.
No, we're leaving. This is bullshit. They want us to fight them.
You're going nowhere. And one of the guards now stands in the doorway.
Oh, bugger.
Racer looks at Ulrich.
Fight,
Well.
fight. These noble lads start sort of clapping and
What's
This is a bullshit.
what are they
setup.
paying you an hour? I'm gonna ask the bodyguard.
What are the bodyguards wearing? Are they wearing just like clothes or have they got armor on?
hold on a second. Let me pull one of the bad boys up. They're
I was only
basically the
asking what he was
worst.
wearing.
They're basically the worst of humanity.
Oh, bollocks. I don't have any appropriate skills.
They look like they've got leather armor on, and they've got pieces of wood like round as bats.
So, people wearing leather, wielding sticks, are picking a fight on someone wearing plate armor.
They've
with an
also got
axe.
the skill prejudice in brackets. Anybody their employer doesn't like.
That's fair.
Paulus will point out at this point, I wanted to hit them from the start.
I wanted to hit them from the start. They're dicks.
Jim,
Just weren't sure we were allowed.
Yes.
our belongings are upstairs. Is that correct?
Yes.
In the rooms.
Well,
Can
mine
I-
aren't.
Can I just pause these guys for a second while I go upstairs to get something?
You can
I-
slip back in.
A charm roll, perhaps. Oh no, I'm outside, right? Can I climb
Yeah.
up into the upstairs window?
Make me a climb roll.
Yeah, not very good at it.
Not the point. The thought
Challenging.
that counts.
Marginal success.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. It
I would,
takes a little while, but you managed to pull yourself up.
so while all this, I'm going to get into the room, load the crossbow, and then, making the dampest steps, come to the top of the stairs.
Okay.
And,
Nobody's looking over at you. There's a bunch. There's the guards and the two nobles who are now stood behind the guards and are sort of winding the guards up to have a go at your friends. And then on the other side, with his back to you as well, is the guy in black who's shouting insults at them now.
Can I like make eyes with Stefan and go like, oh, this the crossbow.
Paulus is gonna
They're trying to goad us into a fight. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And I really want to hit them.
Yeah, so do I. I want to like tase these motherfuckers into the river, but that's what they want as well.
Yeah, but then we're going to be leaving via the river.
Yeah, but these rich pricks are a setup. They're there for us to hurt them.
The guy in black has me confused. Does he want the fight as well?
Yeah, he wants us to fight.
I feel like this is
Oh,
It's a
you
setup.
dwarven bum. How about you want to try and fight me?
See? They
But you'd
really
stand a
want to
chance, you
fight.
nonce.
You what?
He called you a nonce. I believe it's Dwarven for idiot, reprobate, elf, probably in Kazalad, but I don't speak their gutter language.
Why don't you lift that axe of yours and let me stick my sword right up your rectum?
Oh, so we've gone straight to weapons now. I look at all the bodyguards. Is this
No,
your
the
intent as well?
bodyguards are just stood there like that.
Okay.
There's the guy in black sort of.
They want to fight. They want us
Me
to
and
make
you,
the first
you
move.
big
Look at them.
bastard.
They're too scared to take the first move. They don't want to be called on being the ones that make the first move. They're going for cowardly hijinks. Oh, look, a bottle got thrown. Oh, someone was sick. None of them have got the bottle to draw a blade on us because they want us to draw first. The second one of us draws, they can say we attacked them. But if, these guys, they're cowards. They want us to fight them because they haven't got the balls to fight us.
Of course they don't have the balls. They never do.
And I want to make some kind of
Are you
social.
a dwarf, or are you just an elf pretending to be a dwarf?
He's definitely not an elf, my friend.
You look more like a rat, you little goblin git.
I bet you kiss your elven friend, don't you? Yeah, you and the elf kissing like this.
At what point did your mother fornicate with a goblin?
Jim,
Yeah.
I want to try and entertain the rest of the crowd in the inn by belittling these rich wankers.
Okay.
I'm going to try and play to the crowd a little bit.
Okay.
I've
I
got
think that
no
should be
guarantee
difficult.
this will work, but I'm going to give it a try. Except I'm not, because my buttons don't work.
What would you like to do, Ben?
I would like to entertain the crowd by making them look like twats.
Okay. Using your entertain skill, yes?
Using my entertain skill, which isn't 100%, but
That's a fortune point if ever I saw one.
yeah, I think that's a fortune point right there.
Okay, you're making quite a good job of this, and they're all looking like complete bellends, but they were really anyway. But the rest of the people in the pub are obviously all on your side and all finding it very amusing, but they almost look too scared to laugh.
Can
that's not
I
a good sign. My computer's
try
done
and-
a thing.
try and help?
But because of that great idea plan by Ben, if a fight does break out for the first round, I'll give everybody +10 on there to hit rolls. As
Can
you
I
feel a
try
bit
and-
inspired.
Try and boost it a little bit by
I am still here. I
by
can
using
hear you.
my mimic
Yeah, we can see a bit.
to mimic their voices and make them look even stupider.
Okay. So who wants some then? It's obviously the dwarfs too yellow. How about you?
I bet your mum and your sister are missing you, aren't they? They're not separate people. Same person.
You're just scum. Bearded scum.
And you're an inbred tosspot now. Fuck off.
The master of wit and repartee. Why don't you come and get some, dwarf?
I'll stand up.
If you're a man
And
enough, you'd come and
protect
get
the
some
dwarf.
yourself.
I'm going to stand in front of Ulrich in my robes and normal clothes, and I will put my fists up with bent wrists because I'm going to get hurt. And I'll say, if a fight's what you want, come at me, sir.
Okay. What's
Rachel-
your initiative, Ben?
My what?
Your initiative.
Probably laughably low. Sorry, I can't get my computer to do anything right now.
It's your eye number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I can't even see it.
I'll open you up.
30.
30, yeah. Do you want me to roll for Ben? Would that make sense?
Yeah, you could do if you would.
please
I don't
do,
think you
thank
actually
you.
roll for initiative.
So
Oh.
Ben is 30 on his eye skill.
Yeah.
On their eye skill.
When I say roll, I mean like dodge
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dodge, not a good start.
I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me by these guys, but they're going to look like wankers for doing it.
Would you like to make me a dodge roll, please?
Is he actually using his sword?
Oh, he's pulled a sword.
Yeah.
He got the sword
Now
out
it's
anyway.
on.
Has he got?
Now I've won.
Whoa! Has he got a sword out? Marginal failure.
Okay.
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong.
He hits you, Ben, but he doesn't hit you with the sharp end. He basically slaps you with the flat of the blade. Yeah. You take 1 point of damage, and it stings like a badass
Also judicially
on
sound.
your leg.
Oh, I will collapse to the ground then.
Bang.
He's literally at the top of the thigh, giving you a
Oh,
bit of
you're
a
going to
dead
ham
leg.
it up.
Yeah, I'm collapsing to the ground. I've been struck by a sword.
Oh, that's it. Flat of the axe blade.
Nice.
Okay.
They drew first. That means we won.
Can I shoot this guy in the ass?
You're going to
Yeah,
shoot.
I'm gonna smack people
With a-
with
with
a
a-
sword as well.
I'm hitting him with the flat of the crossbow.
He's lost something before it all kicks off properly. Turpin,
Yeah.
are you doing anything with your crossbow?
Oh, I'm gonna put it to the vote. Should I shoot this guy in the ass? I'm hearing a lot of those. Aaron is emphatic. No, but know that my finger is quivering over the.
Aim.
Not
Keep a
until they go
trained
lethal.
eye.
As soon as you see blood
Yeah. Okay. I suppose
on
I'm gonna
us.
keep stealthy. I'm currently lying at the top of the staircase.
He puts his sword back in the scabbard again and sort of has a bit of a belly laugh.
Now,
And then
Is
he
legally-
magic really obvious?
Yes.
He
Okay.
goes over and stands over Stefan, and he's attempting to undo his trousers.
legally, you're allowed to whap him with the side of your sword. It's judicially sound. I'll say to Alric.
I'm going to shout rape and then whomp him with the side of the axe.
God.
I would just like to say now, right, that wasn't the plan. Yeah, there was going to be a bit of weeing involved.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, right. Okay, hit him with your axe then. Or should
You
I
gotta
say,
break this guy's
paddle
neck.
him?
Oh,
7.
see you dodge that, dude.
Bugger.
You've broken his arm.
Dear. Skills.
I mean, in fairness, we should be able to kick the shit out of the bodyguards just fine.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Jim's in the house.
I think
Okay,
he just broke his arm.
you completely smack him a fucker with his axe. And yes, you basically hit his arm and you hear a snap as you hit his arm. And he sort of winces and he lets go of his top of his trousers and sort of grabs hold of his arm.
I'm to unleash our real weapon. Tap in, heal him.
You'll
He
land
lives
if
to
I
death.
do.
Ulrich, these humans break very easily, but that was a nice blow.
I think Rod just frozen up.
How are the nobles now?
Gone a little bit quiet, but then when they see the bloke in black sort of, they can see he's not gone down, he's just holding his arm a bit, they start chanting filthy oink again.
I like that they don't care that we just broke this guy's arm.
I
How
will
drunk
once
are they?
again point out I want at least one of their clothes.
Well, that one was trying to take his off to do bad things to him. Where I come from, you need consent.
So one of the posh boys turns around to the other one and he looks at him for a bit and he says, Jacob, I can't believe they did that to you. And he said, "Did what, George?" And then George leans back and brings his head forward and hits him straight in the nose, making a squelching noise. And Jacob lets out this scream. "Ah!" Yeah, and there's blood everywhere. Yeah, and he's holding onto his face. "Outrageous! How very dare you, filthy oink, filthy oink."
See, now I feel very happy about smacking you all about the face.
And they start heading towards the door.
Jim,
Yes.
should the bodyguard have stepped in there? Assuming there's 4 bodyguards, 2 of them work for one of those young men, and he just got hit by the other young man. I know I'm dicking around here, but have we potentially got a bodyguard civil war in our hands? I feel like
No, unfortunately.
fuck.
Can you crossbow the door shut, though? That's the question.
And they start moving to the door. Fetch the gods. Fetch the gods.
Cowards.
Time to leave. Let's head for the boat discreetly.
Well, of course, humans are such cowards, and their nobles are clearly even more cowardice. If they were really any skilled at all, one of them would have simply
they
challenged us to a
bar.
duel.
Well, when they're related so intertwined as they are, no one knows if it's their aunt, their mother, their grandmother, or what.
Yes,
Can
but
I
I'm
nick
afraid.
the bloke in black sword, by the way, whilst he can't really
Say
do
again?
much? Can I steal his sword?
Well, he's sort of stood back at the moment. He's holding his arm, but his sword is in the scabbard. And he looks like he knows what he's doing. If you probably go for him, he could maybe take his sword out with his other arm.
Yeah, but he's only got one arm. And is it his proper arm?
Boy, that's leftist.
Yeah, Racer.
I'm
looks at,
left-handed.
So actually,
So I'm
Alric-
assuming he's
Alric-
left-handed.
no, he is right-handed, and Alric hits him in the left arm.
Racer looks at Paulus and he's like, "They're going to bring the guards back, and we are going to go to jail. So I am leaving.
were
this
leaving
establishment."
anyway.
Stefano, you're right. And as I said, this crossbow bolt thunks into the ground beside you.
Joseph, if you're willing to take off this evening, we're willing to accompany you. Otherwise, I'll be leaving the city by other means.
Well, you can all stay in my boat by all means tonight. And in fact, it's probably a good idea, because if they come back with the guards, then we can leave first thing in the morning.
Excellent
I'll get up
idea.
there.
Does anyone know what their names were, though?
Dust myself off a bit.
Does anyone know them?
Chubley.
Does anyone,
Does
know
that-
their,
Chubley Warner.
does anyone know their actual names? I've got a book for them.
And to be honest, Stefan, I'd like you to write them down as well. They owe me a pair of clothes. Or at least
Ulrich, I just write down 2 rich pricks and be done with it. Rich pricks are all the same.
I don't have heraldry, I'm afraid.
It's got to be a specific one, or it doesn't really count.
Right, well, I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Well, Racer's more concerned about the man in black, so he's keeping his eyes on him as we file out of the file out of the inn.
I'll kind of gather, because I'm upstairs, so I'll gather everyone's kind of bits. Yeah. And then other way, I'd say a big thank you to the barman. Thank you.
He sort of shakes his head a bit. Can't believe you brought trouble to my bar.
Yeah, well, we haven't had a pint in any bar yet that we haven't brought trouble to, so
We didn't
wrong.
bring the trouble came to us.
Also, your bar seems mostly intact. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Can I try and steal one of their bottles of brandy that the rich pricks are drinking on our way out?
Okay.
As we leave, I'm going to slap the guy on the arm, in a kind of a fake friendly gesture, and go, "Enjoy the rest of your
He
evening,
sort of
lad."
stood back
Wham.
towards the wall again, and any movement towards him, and he sort of goes for his sword. He cringes as he does it, but he does go for his sword.
Really, Manling? Really? You saw how well it went last time.
You gave me a cheap shot.
You were about to do unspeakable things to that lad over there. That's
All
just
I'm gonna do
wrong.
it. All I was going to do was piss on him.
That's not what it
That's
looked
not
like.
okay.
That's still not okay.
I'm
And
not
to
in
be
his
honest,
sex club.
Racer is
you hit
already
a
outside,
officially
making his way to the
licensed
barge.
wizard.
Look, the lad said no. Next time, remember that.
Okay. You
Also,
head
change
towards
up
the
your
boat, then.
clothing.
The streets are quite empty. You can hear some filthy oink chanting from up the road.
Can I check to see if we're still being followed by those guys from earlier?
Okay, you have a look round. Make me a perception roll.
Oh, it's not going to go well.
Can I do the same?
A marginal success. Wow.
And I do have a acute sense sight.
Okay. So you notice that there's nobody about, but as you get close to the boat, you can see there's two people on the boat, and they look like they're leaning over looking at something.
Joseph, are those your crew?
It's not great.
There should be no one on the boat. It's just us.
I'll just start loading the cross. Putting the giant bolt. It's like a ballista in my hands.
Someone tell me I can use the sharp end this time.
I think so, Master Ulrich.
As long as you put them in the river afterwards.
Racer, as you get closer to the boat, you notice that these people aren't moving, and you can notice that sticking out of their back is what looks like a bolt from a crossbow.
Oh no!
They've already been done for.
This whole thing is a setup targeted at us. We didn't do anything. Paulus, what have you done?
I haven't done anything. I haven't
You're
even
being
got the
followed
money
around
yet.
by some kind of creepy sex cult who are setting assassins on us.
That's just my suave,
Stefan,
mustachioed.
Joseph, stick behind me. I'll pull the
don't-
shield out.
I don't think that this has anything to do with a sex cult.
That's because you didn't get a chance to see my manuscript. Right.
Listen, I suggest we get on the boat. Yeah, we keep a watch and we stay here until early morning, and then we move off in early morning.
Aye.
That
Yeah.
sounds
And we-
sensible.
And we
Are the
not be
bodies-
right
are the-
next to the dock?
Whose
Do we
bodies are
recognize the
these?
bodies?
Get some stones and fill the pockets with stones.
Like
Um,
plan.
But do we recognize them?
Yeah, can we look at the bodies, see
Yeah,
who they are?
Oh,
Yes.
have they anything on them? Like like gold or a pistol?
Preferably
What you
a
mean,
lot of
Dr.
gold.
Turpin, is that you want to do an autopsy.
An autopsy, of course. I've been doing many of these lately. But yeah, so there'd be like a crossbow bolt sticking out of his neck, and I'll be trying to take a pulse whilst also vigorously patting them down.
Okay, so they're wearing robes, just quite normal robes, and they don't seem to have a lot on them. Make me a hard perception roll, everybody.
Oh dear. Do you want me to roll a few, Ben?
Yes,
Oh, no, it looks like I can do it.
I got +2 success.
And I only got a
I've-
marginal failure.
Plus
You
one.
notice that one of them has a pouch hidden on it.
Okay.
See,
Can I
autopsies.
unzip the bag?
There are 3 shillings and 19 pennies in it.
God damn, it's all coming up Turpin. Well,
Okay.
we'll split it.
You
but-
also notice that they have a small tattoo on their right breast depicting a purple hand.
Can I draw that in my book?
Of course you can.
Yeah, that's
What
probably a
does
good idea. That needs to go in
Does
the.
Polus notice the money as well? Or
Yeah, you notice that the pouch is there.
I'm gonna look at Turpin like that.
Okay. Okay.
It's my medical expenses.
So you get the boat.
At least one of those are my noble expenses. They're called taxes.
We're going to leave it there.
Good time.
Okay. So thank you everybody for following us tonight and watching. Join us again, hopefully soon.
I remember that fight being a lot easier when we had a bunch of combat characters.
I would be
Join us
easy.
next time as the characters attempt to travel down the right to Buckenhafen. We need a quick vote for Player of the Night. Is there anybody left on the channel?
Still got 21 people watching.
Still got 21 people.
That's one
There you
vote for
go.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you guys can't vote. So, the first name that anybody comes up with that isn't playing is the Player of the Night.
But I think Josh is in the clear, isn't he?
Oh, very clever.
Oh, that's a vote for Jim.
Jim. Oh, very good.
Muhahaha.
I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll go for that. Yeah. Okay, I'll do a thing for next time.
There you go. Jim's player
I'll
of the
take the
week.
challenge. Okay. But thank you very much for watching, everybody, and join us again for episode 3. Thank
This
you.
has got
Someone
called
vote.
Filthy Oiks. Cheers. Good night, guys.
Good night.